more penalty yards than forward progress yards for Shaw's offense to start.
Both teams pretty stagnant to start off this first drive, but it's a long game, so there's a lot still to be played here. Looking to see how you get out of the situation now with a 3rd and 18, 8:40 left to go in the first quarter. Still 0-0 in this thing. Shaw now, as Peterson takes the snap, looks deep, tries to throw the long ball. He sends it over to his man, number 11, who happens to be the big-time guy in Bryson Denson. Man, plays both sides of the ball, linebacker and wide receiver.
Yeah, great job from number 6, Vernon Gamble, to pick up a block for Peterson to have extra time, and then the extra effort from the wideout on the far side to try to reach. I believe that it was very, very close, but that's what they're going to call a 4th and inches, and I mean centimeters.
Unfortunately, it looks like a 4th and 10. He was only able to get about 8 yards there, so now we are in a punting situation for the Shaw Raiders as they now send it back over to the Upson-Lee Knights. Looking back deep there, we have number 7 and 34, it appears, for the Knights in John Bentley and LaQuintus Rains. Curious to see what goes there. There is another flag already on the play. We'll find out momentarily what that means.
I believe delay a game because that clock hit 0.
Mac, I think you are correct. That puts them in a better situation if you're the Upson-Lee Knights, but not so much for the Shaw Raiders. Curious to see how they maneuver here. That, of course, will be tried up to the kick, so they now are facing a more broader perspective here. Sending back, ball is in air, kick is up, 17 there for the Shaw Raiders. They got to call Peter, and that ball is going to be right around the 42-yard line.
So about a 25-yard kick. Not very far, putting the Knights in really good field position to start their second drive. These short field situations, especially when you're this close to the 50-yard line, wouldn't surprise me to see a shot go down.
You said it, Mike. Many people are wondering, Upson-Lee is out of Thomaston, Georgia. For those that may not know, they play out of Matthews Field, where they join alongside Upson-Lee Middle School. There's a lot going on in this program, so not too far up the road. But now the Upson-Lee Knights look to start off here. Cash Cantrell in the backfield. 2-back setup. Cantrell takes the snap, hands it off to his man. Would be a short gain, number 27 there, Jordan Slayton. Another key name we will be looking out for tonight as he sits there. It's a short gain, so not many yards on the play. That's going to be around 2nd, and I want to say 8, maybe a gain of 2.
Yeah, Shaw's linebacker, number 5, Christopher Logan, read that play from the very beginning, making a quick stop, nowhere for the running back to go.
Set it, Mac. We're winding down here halfway, almost through the first quarter. Still a 0-0 game here at Connect Stadium. It's going to be 2nd and 11. They actually pushed back a yard. So a lot of crazy here. Cantrell trying to make something snap there. As we mentioned, Cash Cantrell comes into this one looking to try to do some things. They're going to give it right back to their guy, Jordan. He gets a solid gain here, but meanwhile is swallowed up by several Shaw Raiders on the play.
And I believe that was their sophomore running back, Marquez Wimberly, on the carry there, which I already mentioned that they use multiple running backs. Excuse me, that was number 27, Jordan Slayton, the freshman running back coming into the game for them. And it looked like he ran 10 yards, but he only picked up about 2. So when you have a handoff that far back, I mean, it takes some time for your O-lineman to get in position to create some of those holes, but Shaw snuffed that one out.
Because we got to talk about freshmen across the board. Cash Cantrell is also a freshman himself. So talk about true freshman play out of these guys. For them to step up in these moments, we've seen a lot of that across the field. Cantrell takes the snap, looks deep. He's going to throw it over to his man, number 8, loses his footing there. It happens to be Cheston Howard trying to make something happen, but just loses his feet. It was 3rd and 8 now is what they're facing. Ball on about the 43-yard line.
And watching the highlights from last week, that's what Cantrell kind of struggled with, was maybe seeing over that O-line. He weighs at 165. We don't have his exact height yet, but I wonder if it's kind of a struggle because that pass was a little bit higher than you would want it to be, because all the wide receiver could do is just come down with it and go absolutely nowhere. You
said it, Mac. Here they're facing now a 4th and 7, another 3-and-out play, and Shaw will look to now capitalize. Ball lands, give or take, around the 22-yard line, as the Shaw Raiders now return and look to go back on offense here, led out by Dalen Peterson, DJ Peterson, we're going to call him.
Yeah, that initial kick only went about 20 yards, but great backspin, I guess that's what you call it,
we'll
because
call it that.
no, forward spin because it went backward. Anyways, it actually landed 11 yards after that initial hit, which was around the 33-yard line. So Shaw's going to be backed up inside their own 25-yard line.
You said it, Mac. Ball on about a 23-yard line, 1st and 10 here for the Shaw Raiders. Still a 0-0 game midway through the first quarter here at Connect Stadium. We'll see now. Peterson taking the snap, looks to pass it off, gives it off. Oh, he's going to keep it himself, trying to make something happen there, but he is swallowed up at the play by number 11, Isaiah Davis, the junior defensive end there for the Knights.
Yeah, that play was blown up from the beginning. Either way, you handed it off or kept it. The D-line was right there in your face. Honestly, nowhere to go. So up to some of the guys up front for Shaw to allow their players in the backfield to get some more time to develop the play, because that was just going nowhere.
No doubt about it, Mac. Got to give some credit there to the big man up front, Bryson Nesbitt, man. That's a big guy. That's a big unit. Definitely, I feel safe behind him. Oh, looks like there's going to be a flag on the play as Peterson looked to roll out there and try to make something happen.
It's going to be another false start, so that pins them even deeper in their own territory.
Mac, for those keeping count back home, that's about the 3rd or 4th penalty we've already seen collectively on the Shaw Raiders. Now, not where you want to be early on, especially this early in the game, because now, you know, those can get costly as you're encroaching more and more into your own end zone. Not the best place to be, but we'll see. It's still a tie game at 0-0. Now, Peterson's going to take this snap here, going to look for the call. Looks like he wants to make some movements happen. Maybe audibling out of this play here. We've seen a lot of motion going on for this guy, Vernon Gamble. Peterson steps back, going to take the snap, looks deep, going to throw it over to the side, gives it off to Gamble, and no, it is blown up on the play there by Cheston Howard, another two-way player on both sides of the ball, making a big-time stop, and they are now, it was 2nd and 17 already.
Yeah, I mentioned Howard being that dual player, but last week he had 3 tackles in addition to running the ball. So, like I said, we're going to be saying his name plenty of times a day, but right now he is playing in that linebacker position. You
said it, Mac. Now we're facing 3rd and 17 here as the Shaw Raiders are still trying to make something happen. Things not looking good on either side right now, but, of course, this is still a lot of ball game to play. Here, Peterson's going to take the snap, steps back. Oh, he is in a situation, tries to get out of it. Shout out to his man, number 12 there, stepping up to the plate. A big-time pick there to try to make something happen, but overall, Antron Mallory, the senior, trying to save the day there, but it just wasn't well.
Yeah, and that was a pretty close call. I mean, when you throw it up in the air deep in your own end zone, that ball can go anywhere. Pressure was deep there.
He just tried to throw it up anywhere. Correction, I actually believe that was number 13. Shout out to the man Giovanni Johnson Rutherford, the junior, trying to make anything happen there for his quarterback, but overall just not where you want it to be there.
And Peterson was rolling left. He had number 4 Trenton Patton all alone. I don't know if he would have been able to hit him that far deep because he was standing all alone at the 40-yard line. So hopefully they go back to the film room, look at who was open on that play, and make those adjustments for their third drive.
You said it, McKenzie. Now we're looking at punt deep in their own end zone. The ball's going to go right around the 42-yard line, give or take. Now we see the Upson-Lee Knights once again. We've already had about 3-4 possessions collectively here in the first half with about 2:49 to go in the first quarter. Still a 0-0 ball game at Connect Stadium, John R. Connect Stadium, that is, as the Shaw Raiders are hosting the Upson-Lee Knights. Shaw comes into this one 1-0. Meanwhile, the Upson-Lee Knights lost last week, so are 0-1. Looking to get that first win on the books. As we mentioned here, 2 teams already starting off pretty gritty. We've seen a lot of 3-and-outs so far. But overall, we're seeing a lot of success between both these teams as well as trying to get the run and ground pound going. Mac, what are some takeaways so far you're seeing, and how can we move forward in this game?
Well, Shaw just needs to stay out of penalty trouble. I mean, pinning yourself back that deep and allowing now the Upson-Lee to start inside in Shaw territory on just their 3rd drive, I mean, not the way to start this one.
You said it, Mac. Cantrell there trying to take the snap, and there is a timeout now by way of Upson-Lee. Looks like the Knights didn't like that, so they want to sit there and call Coach Winkles, that is, wants to talk it over with his team to find out. Maybe they saw a read that they didn't like there, figured why not give our guys a little hydration break as well.
Yeah, luckily the temperature is staying pretty low. I mean, we see some scary kind of looking clouds above us, so hopefully that doesn't become anything. But yeah, we've seen last week the rain delays, we've seen heat timeouts, but it's pretty cool.
Gotta say,
Down
Mackenzie,
here at
I'm definitely glad that we are indoors, not outside. But taking a look here at our weather report as of right now, at the 7 p.m. mark, it was about 82 degrees, 50% coverage of rain overall. Going into 9 p.m., it'll be about 78 with a 40% chance. And then by 11, by the time we anticipate getting out of here, it'll be about 76 degrees with a slight bit of rain there on the 30% chance. So shout out to our glorious weather team back in the house, Derek Kincaid, our chief meteorologist as well, for putting that graphic together for us.
Yeah, and I gotta say, stepping out last night when it was around the same temperature, 76, it felt great. I mean, it felt like football. It smelled like football in there.
I hear that. All right, now looking to see what they can make happen here. Cash Caranchero, the true freshman here for the Upson-Lee Knights. A flag once again on the play.
And I believe that's against Shaw.
Waiting
believe
for
it was
the official
offsides.
call.
Yes.
You said it there. Offsides against the Shaw Raiders, and that able the Upson-Lee Knights to capitalize there. Gives them a little encroachment in 1st and 5. All right, play ready to start. We have Cash Caranchero behind at QB. He's going to take the snap, hands it over to his man. Number 25 happens to be Marquez Wimberly. He tries to get something going, but he is tackled by a number of Raiders there on the play. Led in part by number 5 and number 25. That's going to be Christopher Logan, as well as several other key guys. I believe also saw Noah Hart there on the play.
Yeah, when you have such a short turnover from the offense to the defense, now your defensive guys are trying to catch their breath from the previous drive. So hopefully the offense right now is getting a game plan together to keep their guys off the field, because this is going to get ugly really fast if you have these guys coming in every single 2 minutes.
You said it, Mackenzie. Here, Cantrell's going to take a best snap back, looks downfield, tries to make something happen here, passes it over to his wideout. Appears to be number 8, I believe. That happens to be Preston Howard, the senior that's going both ways today. He's making things happen.
Yeah, good pickup for
That's actually number 6. Correction, that'll be Christian also Brooks. Big-time guy.
yeah, the senior wide receiver. He's got some size to him, 170, but he seems to be towering over some of those safeties back there, but he's on the far right side.
You said it, Mac. We're looking at a 2nd and 6 here, 1:44 to go in the first quarter. 17. Cantrell's going to take it there. He sends it over. Big-time run play there from number 25, Marquez Wimberly. And that's going to be a first down for the Upson-Lee Knights.
Yeah, shout out to the Knights O-line there, finally getting some creating some holes for the running back to sneak through. And number 25, Wimberly, only a sophomore, 195. He can muscle his way through pretty much anything, but shout out to the O-line for allowing him to sneak through to get near that first down marker.
No doubt about it, Mackenzie. He's looking here, 2nd and 6 on the play. 1 minute mark nearing here in the first quarter. As Cantrell looks to take the snap, sends his man in motion. That'd be number 10, Helon Foster. He's going to keep it himself, tries to keep it on the quarterback run, but he is tackled by a number of Shaw Raiders. 55, Noah Hart. Number 11, that happens to be Bryson Denson, as well as number 3, I believe, Sevion Joseph.
Yeah, no faking out Shaw there. You had number 10, Foster, go in motion, but both linebackers stayed where they are, stayed on their man, and then instantly ran to the football. So good stop there on 2nd down.
You said it, Mac. We're ending the first quarter here, nearing as 28 seconds remain. Still 0-0 ball game. Upson-Lee now pushing downfield, trying to make a score here before the end of the quarter. We'll see if they can make it happen. It looks like they have all guys in a trips play as they're trying to see here. Cantrell's going to send his guy, number 10, back in motion. Happens to be Foster. He's going to pass it off back once again to number 27, Jordan Slayton. And Slayton is stuffed at the line by way of number 5, Christopher Logan, the senior Raider.
All of these running backs, I guess it's pretty confusing on where the ball is actually going when you bring men in motion and then bring out 4 running backs that we've seen so far.
And that's going to do it here for the end of the first quarter. Still a 0-0 ball game at Connect Stadium between the Shaw Raiders and the Upson-Lee Knights. We're going to take a short break, and then we'll come back with even more coverage before into the second quarter. Welcome back in here at Connect Stadium for our Thursday night stream game featuring the Shaw Raiders taking on the Upson-Lee Knights. I'm Sports Director Tony Reese, joined by my partner, Kenzie Collins, here for the second quarter action. Looks like we have Cash Cantrell here taking the snap. He's going to hand it off to his running back here, trying to make something on the play. Happens to be number 6, that is Christian Alsobrook, I want to say. Looking to make something happen there.
I believe that was number 8, Cheston
You're
Howard.
right, Cheston Howard, the running back. My correction there. A little explosive play. As we mentioned, the Upson-Lee Knights now trying to creep into range, trying to make something happen on the play.
Yeah, going for it on 4th down, getting the first down now, and now you're setting your team up inside the 20. See what happens there, and see, hopefully Shaw can get a stop.
You said it there. Cantrell going to hand it back off to Howard, and he is stuffed at the line by a slew of Raiders. Big time stop there. Several guys on the play. Going to give some credit there. Going to look at this play again. Now, this was a play earlier in the game, as we saw here. This was Shaw, this last drive, trying to make something happen. He tries to send it over to his guy, number 13, Giovanni Johnson, but it was not able to make anything go there.
Yeah, we're in a little stoppage of time due to an injury right now. But back to that play, yeah, I'm really hoping that they're looking at this play and looking at number 4, Trenton Patton, who was wide open to get the easy first down and potentially maybe score, because you can rely on your legs when you have that much space around you. This is number 9 for Shaw.
LeBron Raybon, for those that don't know, the junior edge rusher there. He is a pivotal member of that defense. Not sure exactly the extent of the injury right now, but he is being dealt with. He is up onto his feet, though. That's always a good sign to see, and he is walking on his own accord. That's a big-time play there. You love to see those guys get out there and be able to walk off on their own accord. He's actually with a hop step now, so we would expect to see maybe he needs to catch a breather. He'll be back in about a play or two.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I mean, we talked about the turnover and having your offense come on the field for 3 plays, immediately right back, get your defense back on the field. But number 9, it looks like he's just stretching, so maybe just a cramp. I mean, it is hot out there, so drink your water.
No doubt about it. Stay hydrated. LeBron Raybon back in the game momentarily. Meanwhile, Cantrell here is going to send it over to his guy. He gets stuffed at the line. I want to say that was number 25, if I'm not mistaken, Marquez Wimberly. You know what? Actually, it's number 8 again. That's still Cheston Howard in the play. And I told you they keep moving him around back and forth. As you see here, Cantrell tries to look at the play. He sends his man in motion. He's going to pass it off to Howard. Howard, a jet right there. He tries to shoot in there, but he is stopped at the hole by number 5, Christopher Logan, for the Shaw Raiders. Big time stop there. We're facing now a 2nd and 12, ball in about the 21, 10:32 to go in the second quarter. Cantrell trying to make something happen here. He sends his guys out. This appears to be a pass play. Cantrell's going to take the snap. He steps back. Look, number 11 is pressure. He sends it up to the top. That ball is packed down. It was intended for his man. I want to say that was number 12.
Yeah, not a very terribly thrown ball, but seeing all those black jerseys around, I thought one of them, you can see in this replay.
Number 6 there on the play. It looks like he was going to his man, Christian Alsobrook, but that ball was deflected by way of number 0, Otis Stevens, the big-time senior on the play.
It was actually Savion Joseph,
okay.
Tony. He was the one defending the wide receiver. Otis Stevens was there to potentially make an interception. But, yeah, number 3, shout out to him on the coverage there.
Well, Mac, there appears to be another injury on the play here. We understand right now at this time of the season where guys are definitely cramping up a lot more frequently than need be, but we're going to take some time to see exactly what's going on here on the play. Can't really see exactly what number is down right now. Looking for a better angle to give an update on the play.
Yeah, and a big 4th down coming up for Upson-Lee, but checking out around the Valley, Tony, we've got some other games going on, so I know we want to maybe –
you said it there, Mac.
Preview that 6A game.
Quick mention here, Bryson Denson there on the play. He is back up and running. You talk about some other big games. As y'all know, the WTVM game of the day we have is Opelika hosting the Hoover Buccaneers over in Opelika, a big-time matchup we will be watching. Meanwhile, over at Otis Spencer tonight, you have Hardaway at Kendrick, another MCSD local matchup. That's another big one. And Smith Station up in Montgomery taking on Percy Julian. A lot of key games going into this night. Of course, ahead of our Sports Overtime coverage going into tomorrow. It looks here like they're going to try to get a field goal going by way of number 22, Tristan Boyd, the junior kicker punter. Sits at about 170. He sends it up, and It is just short as it hits the field goal post, and it is no good. Score still 0-0 here with 10-10 to go in the second quarter. That's a heartbreaking, Mike. I cannot say. It looked like it was going in, and then it literally hits the uprights, and you're just like, that's tough.
I think they call it the doink of death, because once you hear it hit the upright doink, it can either fall backward, forward. That one fell forward, so we're still at a 0-0 ball game. And now maybe Shaw can use some of this momentum. I mean, you've got Upson-Lee that was in scoring position. You're coming out with it with still a 0-0 ball game, so maybe light some fire for the offense.
You said it there, Mackenzie. We're going to look here. Ball in play. We have Peterson, who hands it off to his running back. I want to say Vernon Gamble Jr. there for a short gain. Not a lot, but we're going to see what they can do here on the play. Ball sits at about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, for Cheston Howard, for Upson-Lee, I mean, to play both linebacker and running back, he kind of has that advantage because as a running back, you kind of already know what to do and maybe what plays you can already kind of put in your head of where he's going. So shout out to him on that last play for making the tackle.
You said it there, Mac. Got a ball here, second down, going to be, he gives it off to Gamble. Gamble takes a run here, and he's still going. He's still up. This man is off to the races. Number 12 in pursuit happened to be Darian Meadows, but shout out to Vernon Gamble Jr., who popped out of there like a rocket, and that young man was out of there.
Yeah, Meadows last game getting one tackle for a loss, but this was just a one-on-one. Hopefully we could get the replay up here soon, but this was just a one-on-one who can tackle who kind of situation for Gamble. But Gamble, we've seen huge plays come out of him both last season and going into this year now.
Taking a look there, Gamble there. He gets out of that one spot. He
Tackles.
Takes off one, breaks off two, still spins his way out, and he's off to the races. Now, he was hawked there on the back end, but he puts his team in some great time position. Ball back in play. They give it back to Gamble here, trying to see what he can do. He is now stopped just short, a smaller run, but still a powerful one nonetheless. As we mentioned now, coming into this game, we knew Vernon Gamble Jr. was going to be a name we called for the Shaw Raiders, and he is delivering already in this game.
Yeah, so Gamble's going to come off the field, and now you saw Otis Stevens, who ran the ball a couple times last season, so he's stepping in the running back position.
All right, here, looking to see what Mr. Peterson can do in QB position. He's going to take the snap, and that goes off, as you mentioned. He's going to keep it himself, trying to run through the middle, but they spotted it with that QB spy, and he is tackled by a number of Upson-Lee Knights. Big time stop there by number 47. Happens to be Xerxes Bloodworth. That's a tough name, Xerxes Bloodworth. I like that. That's different. Looking at about a 3rd and 9 here with about 7:55 to go in the second quarter. Ball on a 50, still a 0-0 ball game. And there appears to be a timeout on the play.
Take a break. Yeah, Upson-Lee's calling it.
All right, as we mentioned, it's still 0-0 here in the second quarter, 7:50 to go. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with even more action.
Upson-Lee fans, you can go under the awning on the visitor's side.
I'm going to try to get some scores for other games.
Definitely the running pound. We just saw Vernon Gamble there. He had a pretty great run and was looking to make some things happen. Looked like he had a lot of momentum going into play. Unfortunately, due to the lightning delay, they have had to stop play. So hopefully they can keep that momentum going once they return, depending on how long this lightning delay lasts. But meanwhile, just kind of what are some takeaways so far from the game?
Well, for Shaw, you need to come back on the field and play a clean, complete game. You've already got 4 penalties, 3 of them being on the offensive side. So you need to find those mistakes and address them in the locker room, and then come out and hopefully finish this drive with a score, because, like you said, this lightning delay is kind of momentum killer for Shaw. So hopefully they can still ride it out and come back and play the rest of this quarter and hopefully end up with a score. But shout out to their defense, not allowing Upson-Lee to score on that previous drive when they got down inside the 20-yard line, went for a field goal, the doink of death, and we're still at 0-0. So basically you can come back, for both of these teams, come back to the field and have a brand new ball game.
You mentioned it, Mac. Before we talk about it, we were going into some of our other games taking place around the area, so we're not sure if weather is impacting them. We had Hoover over at Opelika. That's a big-time AHSA matchup we're watching. It's no longer 7-8, it is 6-8. So the state runner-ups in the Opelika Bulldogs, who lost to the Thompson Warriors, they are taking on the Hoover Buccaneers, a team that has been known in years past to be a pretty sufficient team and one of those teams you want to play later in the season, not so early. But we're curious to see now under first-year head coach with the Opelika Bulldogs, Jonathan Chandler, what that team looks like now. Last year they were led by Brian Moore, so a new identity, new face, but he is a former alum as well, so curious to see how that game is going. Meanwhile, we also have some other key notch matchups. As I mentioned, Hardaway-Kendrick, another MCSD matchup there, taking place crosstown over at Otis Spencer. We understand Hardaway didn't get off to the best start last week. Meanwhile, Kendrick comes in under head coach Emmanuel Mayo, looking to see what they can get done. And then we have Smith Station up in Montgomery tonight, taking on the Percy Julian Phoenix. All right. As we mentioned now, due to this weather delay, we were streaming the first quarter on our Facebook stream. Meanwhile, we are about to end that, but please stick around with us and head on over to WTVM.com or WTVM app, or if you're watching PSN 9.3, that's Peachtree Sports Network, where we will be having all of the coverage still recording over, as well as our YouTube page, WTVM News Leader 9. Mac, taking a look here, just a lot of excitement, a lot of intensity so far on both sides of the ball, a lot of flags. So we had to talk about that. There's been a lot of laundry on the field today.
Yeah, and I really hope that it's something that Coach Gardner is telling his guys to focus on coming out of this lightning delay. I mean, for both teams now, you kind of got like an extra halftime, if you will, just because we haven't hit that halftime mark. And it wouldn't surprise me for them to condense the halftime as with this lightning delay. But going back to the penalties, no penalties for Upson-Lee yet, but for Shaw, for you to have 4 already and then kind of a drive killer on your second drive of the game, and which resulted in negative penalties and barely any positive yardage. So that's definitely a big takeaway for me, for the Raiders. But I really was hoping to see if they could complete this drive that they had going, especially with a big play like they just saw from Vernon Gamble.
You said it there, Mac. A big thing here was a test before the test for region play here. And we understand that head coach Johnny Garner has really been pressing into his guys about stepping up. It looks like they are 13-0. Kendrick is up currently over the Hardaway Hawks with about 6:08 left before the half there. So shout out to the Kendrick Cherokees getting it done right now over at Otis Spencer Stadium. They, ironically, all right. So a lot of play here, but Mac, meanwhile, we're just kind of waiting it out. That's all we can do at this point. So, we're going to take a few moments to step away for a little bit and then come back, hopefully with some action here momentarily. But just want to go ahead and give you an update once again. It is the second quarter here at John R. Connett Stadium, where it's about 7:50 left to go to halftime. Ball was on the 3rd and 9th, but due to a lightning delay, the Shaw Raiders were driving downfield. They now have to have stops, so they are facing on the Upson-Lee Knights. But momentarily, we will be back. Gotcha. And once again, if you didn't know, Kendrick is up 13-0 over The
Hardaway.
Cherokee. Oh, so some correction. The Kendrick Cherokees that are up 13-0 over the Hardaway Hawks over at Otis Spencer Stadium. Meanwhile, the Auburn, the
Opelika's game has
Hoover
not started.
game has
Yes.
not started yet. But we'll be momentarily looking out for that one as well. Once we get an update, we'll give you an update.
Yes, according to our sports reporter, Drew Pavon, the game has not yet started due to weather, so they're looking around at about an 8:12 Eastern start time.
It's going to be some late nights, I'll tell you that. But meanwhile, we'll have even more action coming up at you momentarily. We'll be back.
All right, welcome back to another episode of The Pit, episode 30. I'm Drew Pavant here in Columbus, Georgia, joined by James down in Albany, Tyler out in Augusta. Guys, thanks for joining in. A lot to talk about this week. Atlanta Falcons on the docket, big win over the Colts. High school football officially back in the Peach State. I was psyched for it. And, of course, Braves week in review, in which it was a tough week. We're going to start with the Falcons. Huge win over the Colts on Saturday in a preseason. You can say what you want, but it was definitely needed after that first week performance at home against Denver. James, I'll start with you. What did you think of their dominant rout of the Colts, 34-6?
Yeah, well, it was a lot different than what I was predicting the Falcons last week on the Pit. I was calling for them to tank and, the season's over. I'm still not that high on Atlanta considering where their defense is at and quarterback situation. But, hey, the story out of that game to me was Jake Strand. Is he seriously competing for a starting job? Michael Penix just got cleared to do 11-on-11 work, so he might be back at some point. It does seem like Tua's going to be the week one starter for Atlanta, but if they can't get any consistent play out of this offense, guys, why would you not go with Jake Strand and give him a chance to see what he can do with the offense? If Tua's going to struggle and you don't know when Michael Penix is going to come back, so to me, Jake Strand was a story, and he, honestly probably solidified himself a roster spot. He's probably one of those fringe guys, but if he keeps putting performances like that in the preseason, showing he can be competent and can lead that offense, to me, I don't think you can cut him. I think he's got to be on the roster. And look, he just gave Atlanta some juice. You mentioned it in Denver. It was like, man, this is over. This looks bad. This isn't going well. But then they dominated Indy, and I feel like a large part of that was the energy you felt on the sideline. It's good being at home, playing in front of the home fans. Jake Strand really showed out, and to me, it's just a big boost for Kevin Stefanski. You're still trying to win over this locker room and show that you need these guys to buy in. So for me, it was a huge win for Stefanski and company.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw that quarterback room. It was mostly Rush and Strand that got the playing time. Strand had over 200 yards, a couple touchdowns, showed off the legs a little bit. An undrafted rookie out of Division II. I believe it's Minnesota State Moorhead. These are kind of those stories that you love to see throughout the preseason and fall camp. He's battling just to make the roster over Cooper Rush, and I think he's doing a great job of it right now. Stefanski postgame was talking about, this guy didn't really have a lot of reps in those joint practices with the Colts, and then for him to go out in the middle of that game and ball out like he did, it's truly impressive. Tyler, Michael Penix Jr. cleared for 11-on-11 finally after this slow ramp up for him. Now him and Tua are going to be having to split those first team reps. What do you think is going to be the big indicator for him to be cleared to go if potentially he could even go for week one against Pittsburgh?
I think right now it's just talking about him and his confidence. This is a guy that's going now on his third ACL recovery in his entire football career, dating back to Washington. And you go to Tua again, he's had his injury history to him as well. It's well documented at this point. With Penix, I think at this point it's really just, how are you feeling? Do you feel confident enough right now in your ACL to go out there and make the plays? Because we saw it on the sideline. We saw it from what we were seeing from Tua when he was sitting there in that viral clip we've all seen of him pointing at him on the sideline. I think he personally believes he can take this starting job, and I think Atlanta believes in him to do that. But it's all right now in the confidence level. Does he trust his body enough, I think, right now to take the field and play at a high level?
Yeah, and I feel like throughout fall camp and the preseason, we've heard Mike kind of speak about it and just be like, I'm ready. I'm ready to go, but I don't think Atlanta's ready to push him yet. I think they rather err on the side of caution when it comes to Penix and being able to make sure he is 100% ready, because when you deal with guys with multiple knee injuries, it can be a reoccurring thing. It's such a reset when you go through that surgery and you build yourself back up. The knee is not at the same strength as it once was, depending on the surgery. You may come back better. Sometimes you come back worse, and it may throw off the rest of your career. And like you mentioned, Tyler, Tua has, had his problems of injuries. So it's going to be interesting to see. But I think I mentioned it last week. When you talk about Tua or Penix, like you say, Tua goes 2-1 or goes 3-0 in those first couple games, and they say, we're not going to get Penix in there until the end of September. James, do you think they veer off from Tua, even if they're 2-1 or potentially 3-0?
I think if you're 3-0 and you're undefeated, I don't think you can move off of Tua. You brought him in for a reason. You knew Michael Penix wasn't going to be necessarily ready to start the season, so you brought Tua in for a reason. He's been taking all of these reps with the starters as Penix has been, like you guys said, ramping back up. I think if Tua's 3-0, I think you just got to leave him in until the wheels fall off. Kind of like maybe don't wait as long like you did with Kirk Cousins to get Michael Penix in. Maybe a little bit shorter of a leash for Tua, and the things start coming off the wheels. But I think if you're 3-0 and you're hot, you gotta keep rolling with Tua. I was gonna propose this question though to you guys, like how much longer do the Falcons stay with Michael Penix and like just keep believing in him that he's the guy? And obviously injuries aren't anyone's fault, and you feel bad for everyone involved in those situations, but just how many more injuries do you really have before you start thinking about drafting another quarterback or seriously bringing in another long-term option in for Atlanta? Because bringing in Kirk Cousins and, the whole situation with drafting Michael Penix was in and of itself, but bringing in Tua, you kind of feel like it was just a bridge to get to where Michael Penix is healthy and it's his team. But if he gets injured again or he does go in and it looks worse than Tua, just how much longer do you really stick with him before you have to start looking on for long-term options?
Yeah, that's a good point, James,
Definitely.
because with the depth of the college quarterbacks that are supposed to be coming out in this 2027 draft, like say the Falcons do finish with 5 wins or 6 wins and you're looking at a top 12 pick, there's plenty of room for you to move up or even potentially get there can be 5 quarterbacks taking this first 20 picks is the way it looks now, and obviously the college season hasn't started yet. And like last year, that changed a lot. So we're going to have to see how that thing kind of moves. But that's an interesting point. Like if you sub into his struggling, maybe goes 1-2, and you say, all right, Penix, your go time, struggles or even gets hurt again, that's a possibility that you got to make something happen at that quarterback position. You kind of dump the chips and say, all right, we made a mistake with Kirk and Penix, and we're going to move on from that and try to reset with the talent we have while these guys are young. Tyler, going to go to you on this one. Defense, we talked about it last week.
Welcome back in, everyone, here to Connect Stadium. We'll rejoin you with that Thursday night stream game between the Upson-Lee Knights taking on the Shaw Raiders. As we mentioned, that game was in a current lightning delay, but the team has been cleared to come back out and see if we can't get things started back here. We'll return. We're at 7:50 in the second quarter. 3rd and 9. Shaw was pushing, but they are, of course, in the warm-up phase. I'm Sports Director Tony Reese, joined by my partner in crime, sports contributor Mackenzie Collins. Mac, we are currently streaming on Peachtree Sports Network 9.3, and, of course, over on YouTube as well as WTVM.com and our WTVM app. So, Mac, just kind of recapping the folks for what they missed. If they're just now joining us, what would that be?
Well, it's a 0-0 ball game, so like I mentioned before going into this lightning delay, it's kind of a brand new ball game for both teams. Upson-Lee was able to get inside their own inside the 20-yard line, trying to look for that touchdown, but opted for the field goal. And as you see, you will see in a little bit, the Upson-Lee kicker is actually practicing his kicks because he did miss one from about 30 yards out, which would have put them on the board first. But Shaw getting the ball after not allowing any points, doing their own damage offensively. But we kind of started to see the rise of Vernon Gamble in this one. Kind of a momentum killer with his lightning delay. So hopefully he still has some juice enough to produce some points as we get ready to start back here in the middle of the second quarter.
You said it there, Mackenzie. For those that didn't know, Shaw came into this game 1-0 after their big-time win last week. Meanwhile, Upson-Lee dropped last week. They come in as 0-1. Both of them are in Region 4 or 4A classification, but they are in different regions, 1 and 2. So this is not a region game, but it is still a game that both teams would like to come out with in the win column. Looking forward to seeing here how the action resumes. The biggest takeaway I want to say we had prior to the game stopping was definitely the flags, Mackenzie, on both sides of the ball. It just was not looking good.
No, Shaw with 4 penalties already, Upson-Lee with 0, so they're playing a pretty a decently clean game, but for Shaw, you've got to clean those up. If you continue to get flags on every single drive, I mean, it's going to kill you. And then you're going to put yourself in a deeper hole, and you're going to face those 3rd and 18s and 2nd and 20s, and it's just not what you want to try to win this game.
You said it there, Mac. It looks like we're about to resume play here now. As I mentioned, ball is on about 3rd and 9 to go for the Shaw Raiders, who were driving prior to that lightning delay. It's 7:50 left to go in the second quarter ahead of halftime. Still 0-0 in this thing, but we're going to see now if DJ Peterson can't put his team in a winning position. Now Peterson back to take the snap, takes the snap, hands it off to his guy, Vernon Gamble. It's a trick play. They're going to give it off to their man, number 4, big time Trent Patton. Trying to make something goes. He shakes, he spins, and he is brought down by a gaggle of Upson-Lee Knights for a 4th down play. Got to like the creativity there to try to get something going, but unfortunately they come up just short. That's what you call one of those triple option plays there. He's going to give it off to Patton. Patton looked like he had a lot of space, but shout out to number 7. He spins out of there trying to make something happen, and then he is brought down by 5, 24, and 15. So that'll happen to be DeQuavius Hamilton, 15 being Yuma Ellerby, and the ball's back in action. All right, now we're going to look to see here. It's 4th and 5. They're going for it. You have Peterson here. He's looking to the sidelines just to see what they want to do. Coach Johnny Gardner aggressive here. I got to say I like it. As we mentioned, it's right before half. We want to see some points on the board. Peterson here looks back for the snap, going to take it. Takes the snap, hands it over to Vernon Gamble. Gamble to the outside with space, and you know he likes to run that thing. There he goes up the sideline, and that's good enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, you had number 5, DeQuavius Hamilton, looking like he took a good enough angle to tackle Gamble, but Gamble quick off the side. You're going to see here, number 5 shoots across the field.
Call an edge sweep. Yeah, he tried it.
Breaks that tackle, and he's gone. So 1st down pickup, great for Shaw's momentum moving forward, and we'll see what happens if they can end this drive with some points on the board.
We knew coming back, Shaw definitely wanted to take the aggressive approach. Shout out to head coach Johnny Gardner on getting that conversion there on the 4th down, 4th and 5 at that. It's now 1st and 10, about 6:25 to go here in the second quarter. Ball on about the 40-yard line. DJ Peterson back at QB. He's going to take the snap. He's going to give it back over to his man Gamble. Gamble shoots up the middle, and he gets a ton of yardage as he's still going. Big time run there. Gamble is calling his game, and taking a gamble is what this team has done, and it is paying off big time.
I like that. Gamble taking gambles. So I believe they are going to give him the 1st down on that. Just shot straight up the middle. I mean, just keep feeding him. That's going to do great for his confidence and for the whole team. And just rely on the legs of Gamble. I mean, he's already made some plays early in this one, but just keep feeding him down because Upson-Lee doesn't really have an answer for him
this is
as
true.
of yet.
Mackenzie, this is true. As we mentioned, a lot of excitement now, a new burst of energy at this team. That well-needed rest, and they are back at it. Peterson here set to take the snap. He's going to send his man in motion. That's number 8, Markwell Charleston. It's going to go now. Gamble shoots. He finds a hole. He escapes, and he runs it in for another solid amount of yards. And this man cannot be denied right now. He is cooking what they like to call it nowadays. It's 5:45 here in the second quarter. Look at that here. That man took an angle, and, boy, he would not be denied. Broke 1, broke 2, broke 3, and just brought down. Kid is nice.
Yeah, shout out to Curtis Shipman for Shaw. I mean, he was up there with Gamble on that play, just pushing guys forward.
You said it there, Mac. This team is starting to make something happen now. Ball on the 22-yard line. It's 2nd and 2, about 5:20 to go here before the half, and Shaw is knocking on the door. Peterson here going to take the snap, hands it back off to none other than number 0. Oh, big-time play here. Number 0 steps in this thing, and that's a big-time Otis Stevens. Shout out to a new contender there with the ball, and this is a senior that knows how to help his team when it matters the most.
Yeah, he's like their Cheston Howard, Shaw's rather, for playing at linebacker.
Big
and
power back, like that. Oh, they're going to sit it again. Stevens, yet again, powers his way over to the side, and they are knocking now on the door as the Shaw Raiders are trying to score before the half.
Well, they did get a good gain of yardage there, but it's going to be brought back because another penalty, Tony. That's their 5th one, false start, so they're going to have to retry the down.
Lord of mercy, this thing is starting to become quite the dividend here for the Shaw Raiders, who have been in more penalty trouble than most early on in the game.
Don't let Shaw beat Shaw here. I mean, now with 5 penalties and most of them, coming on offense. Don't let Shaw beat Shaw.
You said it there, Mac. Now we're curious to see here. We have Peterson. He's going to hand it back over. Oh, he's going to throw. Oh, he's pressured. And he's going to hit it outside. Peterson going to try to take it in himself. And he is brought out of bounds by number 7. Happens to be John Bentley there, the senior free safety.
Yeah, there was a little communication after the play happened, but looked like Stevens thought he was going to get the ball. Didn't know whether to pick up the block or not, but Peterson, using his experience, just able to get out of it to get some yards.
Facing a 2nd and 9 now here, about 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, that is, before halftime. 8 ball on about the 9-yard line, and once again, they are in red zone looking to score here. Peterson takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. Looks to be Gamble. Gamble's going to shoot to the outside, and he's going to try to make a way in, and he scores! Touchdown, Shaw Raiders! Gamble there has been gambling all this drive, and that boy is nice. Watch the play yet again, replay here. Gamble's going to find his outside. He's going to shoot. Shoots around the edge. He sees nothing but end zone. He gets in there with the cut, and that's a touchdown on the play. Big time Gamble there. Love it.
Yeah, he actually had 2 holes to choose which one to go through, but he relied on his legs, stuck his foot in the ground, got to the outside, and into the end zone he goes. Big time play from him. The entire drive set up behind the legs of Vernon Gamble Jr.
You said it there, Mackenzie. Shaw Raiders draw blood first, and it is now 6-0 waiting on the PAT. As we mentioned, we were hoping to see if the Shaw Raiders were able to capitalize off that lightning delay and come back with momentum that they had going into it, and it looks like it paid off with the gamble by way of Mr. Vernon Gamble Jr. And once again, it appears to be another
Believe it, delay a game.
flag on the play. And as you mentioned, Mackenzie, another delay of the game on none other than the Shaw Raiders. Not the success you really want coming off a big-time play like that, but we'll see if you don't trust the kicker to put it in and try to get you some extra points. Mr. Hot Rod. Call him Hot Rod Stevens there.
Yeah, what would have been about a 10-yard PAT kick now becomes about a 15-yarder. So not that big of a difference, but for an inexperienced kicker that might be. And now we've got another delay.
Third line all over the place.
Well, this is going back 5 yards, so we're going to go to the original line of scrimmage here because offsides on Upson-Lee.
Oh, I get being antsy, but man, oh man, I don't know if you're going to put yourself in that type of situation.
Just back and forth, you know.
No doubt about it. For those just joining us, the Shaw Raiders are the first to strike on the board here. A big-time play by Vernon Gamble Jr. to put the Raiders up 6-0 as they attempt the PAT to go up 7-0. And Mr. Hot Rod Stevens here in the backfield. He's going to take the kick. And it's good. So that's now a 7-0 ball game for the Shaw Raiders over the Upson-Lee Knights, who just came back out of this lightning delay with nothing but a big-time drive by way of Vernon Gamble. Shout out to DJ Peterson as well, putting his team in a great position.
Yeah, this is Peterson on the replay. This is what set up the Vernon Gamble Jr. touchdown, but he was able to put his team on his back, get inside the 10-yard line. Then Gamble does the rest. That's 6 for number 6, and Shaw has a 7-0 lead. 3:41 left in the second quarter, so I would expect you for Upson-Lee to take some time off the clock just because Shaw does get the ball to start the second half, but you don't want Upson-Lee to take off too much time and eventually score, leaving Shaw with around maybe a minute left. So you want them to take some time off the board, but just not use the entire quarter, because going to the half a tie game, that's a different message than what you could have in a 7-0, 14-0 ball game.
You said it there, Mackenzie. We're looking at 3:41 to go, still in the first half as we're creeping on halftime. Meanwhile, they are now up. As that graphic shows, it is correctly Shaw 7-0 over Upson-Lee. We'll get that fixed momentarily. But as we mentioned, Vernon Gamble, they had a big play.
Uh-oh.
It was a touch ball, and it looks like Shaw might have recovered this thing, and that's a heck of a way to get back into momentum. There was a muff punt by way of Upson-Lee. They are fighting there on the dog pile. Referees trying to find out. And it appears the Shaw Raiders have retained the ball.
I believe the ball bounced off of number 12.
Jardarian Meadows.
Jardarian Meadows off the Knights player who touched it. I don't believe it went 10 yards, but it doesn't matter because he may have touched it. I think that's what the refs are talking about right now. But Shaw was the one to fall on it. So they're getting great field position right inside the 45-yard line. So even more momentum building for the Raiders here.
Mackenzie, that is a big-time get for the Shaw Raiders. Meanwhile, the Upson-Lee Knights are wishing they could get that one back. Ball here on the 44-yard line, 3:26 to go in the second quarter. First and 10 now for the Shaw Raiders, who just had a great gamble by Vernon Gamble Jr. We'll see if they don't go right back to him. DJ Peterson here going to take the snap. He gives it to his man over the top. Like it would be a throw, and it goes over to Trenton, and Trenton's going to make something happen there. Marquell Charleston, that is, and there is some positive yards on the play.
Yeah, you mentioned Trenton, but watch out for number 8, Charleston, as well. That was one of Coach Gardner's key guys to watch out for tonight, and we've called his name a couple times already, but great pickup to pick up around 6 yards, I believe. They're going to call second and 5. Second and a long 5.
Second and long 5. I like that. All right, big-time play here. 2:54 to go. Second and 5. Ball on the 39-yard line. As we mentioned, Shaw just scored. They happen to get back their kickoff, and now they're trying to see if they can push again. Peterson going to send it over to Gamble. Oh, Gamble drops it. He's going to fall on it there, and that is a loss of yardage. Definitely seemed to be some type of miscommunication there. Not the play they wanted, but, hey, you recovered the ball.
I think Gamble was just really antsy. Like we kind of mentioned earlier, going to see on this replay, I think he was looking at the green before he even had the ball in his hands.
You said it there. You see Peterson hands it off to Gamble. Gamble preparing for it, but just slides out of his hands like butter. He tries to fall on it, and he's luckily there for the play and the save. But now you are facing the 5 yards you just gained. You just lost them in the same rights.
So now you've got Otis Stevens in Gamble's replacement. So I wouldn't be surprised if Otis Stevens goes out for a pass here.
Oh, just a miscommunication from the center there to Peterson. Peterson has to fall on it, and that is another severe loss of yards there for the Shaw Raiders. There seems to be a lot of miscommunication taking place right now. Not where you wanted to be as you face what was 3rd and 12 situation, now even further back with 1:38 to go roughly here in the second quarter.
Again, don't let Shaw beat Shaw. I mean, you were good to hop on that onside kick attempt to put your team in really good field position, but somehow you've swapped sides of the field. What was supposed to be a drive started inside the 40, now you're inside your own 40 on 4th down, so no other choice but to punt.
Unfortunately, Mac, we're looking at a 4th and long, and I mean long, 27, as they have to now punt this ball back. What started off as a positive gain, now looking unpromising. They're going to send the punt deep down backfield. Oh, there's another muff on the play, but Upson-Lee looks to have retained it this time. And now we'll see with just about under a minute to go if Upson-Lee can make something happen here. But Tom is not on their side.
I'm looking at the stadium lights to see if there's maybe any rain, because that's 3 plays that we've seen that the ball's just kind of gone in and out of hands. But I don't see any rain, so maybe just few nerves. I mean, it is still really early, week 2 in the season, just trying to shake off those nerves. But with under a minute left, we'll see if the Knights have an answer and hopefully possibly score to tie this thing up. But under a minute, this is what you practice in video games, the 1-minute drills.
Come on now. You said it there. Cantrell's going to take the snap back. He looks deep, trying to throw it downfield. Number 6 is going to step up there, but he is tackled by a slew of, y'all know what it is, Shaw Raiders. Christian also Brooks there on the play. Tom, once again, not on their side. There's about 40 seconds to go here before halftime. Looking to see here what they can do now. As we mentioned, it's about 30 left in game. Cantrell looks for a snap. They're on about 2nd and 2, ball on the 41-yard line. Cantrell takes the snap, looks deep, trying to throw deep. It goes over to number 10 was his guy. It happened to be Hilon Foster, but he is overthrown there, and now they are facing a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, in those hurry-up situations, you really rely on communication from your quarterback, from your entire offense, to try to make sure everyone's on the same page. Shaw, that time on defense, everyone was on the same page. Quarterback had to get rid of that ball really, really quick and overthrew that ball. Luckily not into in an area with black jerseys, because high balls like that usually just kind of a tip drill, if you will. You
said it, McKenzie. Now Cantrell looks to try to make something happen here. About 22 seconds to go before half. Cantrell's looking to take the snap, takes a snap, looks downfield, trying to make something go. He sends up a prayer. And it is overthrown once again. He was looking to his man. I want to say that's number 6 there on the play, Mr. Christian also Brooks, but he was double covered in that one. And it's about 16 to go to half.
What an arm, though. I mean, from standing from the 35-yard line, getting it near the 35-yard line on the opposite field, What a freaking throw. I mean,
From
that
a
was
freshman, too. That boy got a little cannon on him, a pocket passer, you want to call him. 16 seconds to go here, still in the half, or right before half, that is. 4th and 2. You really only got 2 yards, but at this point, you want to set up a prayer. It looks like they're going to go for it. So Cantrell here sends several of his guys out wide. As we see, this is probably what you call an all-go, just to see what they can do here. Cantrell steps back. He's pressured. He sends up a shot, and it will be tipped almost. Number 17 there for the Raiders. Tried to make something happen but came up just short. Man, that was looking like a pretty play. Almost looked to be way of a pick. Shout out to Javion Salter, that is. He tried to make something happen here. It's about 9 seconds to go, and the Shaw Raiders, once again, get the ball. Now, the question is, do you try to go for it, or do you just go ahead and run out the clock going into halftime?
Yeah, with Cash Control hit right before he threw. I mean, he was looking straight at the linebacker. He just kind of threw it up there. And
he got hit. That was a hit on. That was a shot on the play. I'm not gonna lie to you.
For sure. And then for Shaw, it was a 50-50 ball pretty much between Antron Mallory and Javion Salter. Would have liked to see that pick because there were no purple jerseys around them. That easily could have gone back. But with 9 seconds, we'll see if they take a shot down here.
You said it here. We have DJ Peterson here to take the snap. Oh, there seems to be still some miscommunication. He takes a shot down deep. He's looking for his man, and that is an overthrown ball. He intended to send it over to Bryson Denson, but just overthrew him, and there's 3 seconds to go here before the half. Another 2nd and 10 ball still on the 41. As we mentioned, 3 seconds here. At this point, you can let the ball run out. You can let the time run out, that is, or you can try to take another deep shot. I mean, looking at the aggressive approach they just took, I can see them trying to go back and do it again.
Yeah, and you can presume this is probably the last play of the half.
Very
and
much.
I don't think Garner speaking to his guys for this long means a run play, but who knows? We have seen crazier things with 3 seconds, 1 second, so we'll see what happens here. But like you said, it would not surprise me to see a shot down the field.
You said it, McKenzie, here. 3 seconds, 2nd and 10 here. He's going to get off to Ventrell. And he's trying to make something happen here. Vernon Gamble, that is. Vernon Gamble Jr. And that's going to run out the time here at halftime. 7-0 is your score. Shaw Raiders lead over the Upson-Lee Knights here at Connect Stadium. We're going to go ahead and hit the halftime performance here, and then we're going to come back with even more action. Second half.
Upson-Lee 9, 0.
full slate of games, not only there at Connect, but we also got some games going on around the Chattahoochee Valley today and tomorrow. So let's just go right into it. Thursday, across town, we've got Opelika versus Hoover. Big 6A matchup there. What are you kind of getting from the Bulldogs? And then, of course, the Buccaneers, who we don't really normally see down here.
Kids, we got to talk about that matchup, being that Opelika was the state runner-up last year in 7A. You know, they did lose to Thompson, as well as I think originally Thompson had to go on to beat Hoover to even get into that matchup with Central, which originally propelled them into the state championship game. Both of the two top-notch teams we have in AHSA and now 6A, so looking forward to seeing what that matchup is. You know, there's a first-year head coach in Jonathan Chandler now for the Opelika Bulldogs. Curious to see what he's able to do in this real top-notch first game, as well as over at Hoover. You know, they've been known to be the standard for quite some time in the state of Alabama outside of Thompson, so I'm curious to see what they're able to do there. I think it's going to be a tough matchup nonetheless, but it is in Opelika. So Bulldog Stadium, if you've never been there before, that stadium and that community is electric when it comes to high school football, and I'm looking forward to see what they can actually bring in that one.
I think defense is really going to carry through the Bulldogs through the game. Gonna be interested to see what they do with their offense. I mean, bringing in the new quarterback that played under Chandler last season, then you're bringing in another guy. Just kind of interested to see how the offense is going to work with a bunch of new mindsets, just people playing in 6A versus playing in 4A, and then what Chandler is going to try to maybe not mimic what Brian Moore did and bring his own flair to Opelika football, but I really think defense is going to be the strong suit here. It wouldn't surprise me if it was like a 21-14 game, not like what we saw versus in that Auburn-Hewitt-Trustful game on Friday. That thing was back-to-back shootout.
Mac, you talk about it. These are no doubt about it, tough out teams we had throughout the state, and these big games early on. Just last week, of course, we had Central Thompson. So you talk about just these two top-tier matchups with some elite teams going into early on this season. I've always said you'd rather lose some of these games early on, so that way you can kind of like pick up the pieces and fight for the rest of the season, especially when it comes to postseason play. So hopefully, win or lose, they see a lot of great positivity in this game, and they can build off of it, because you know iron sharpens iron in a sense. You're gonna see some tough opponents early on. So for them to have a top-notch matchup like this, it can only get easier, or it can only be mutually progressive across the board for them to learn exactly what their strengths and weaknesses are in a game like this, and then really improve on it going forward. We also have to talk about some other key games right here in Muskogee County, just across the way at Otis Spencer Stadium. We have Hardaway at Kendrick. Now, I had the opportunity to see this Hardaway team last week. It wasn't the best performance they could have put on, but definitely I see a lot of grit. You know, they also have a new-year head coach, first-year head coach, so a lot of excitement there just to see what they're able to do. And Kendrick, last year, they were kind of that team that kind of went on a run in the beginning, but then fell off a little bit towards the back end. So I'm curious to see what Coach Mayo and his team are able to do again this time around, and I think that's going to be a contested battle. A lot of people are kind of like, I remember watching this game just last year, and it was definitely a heavy-fought battle, but Kendrick kind of ran away with it, I believe. So I'm curious to see if they can do the same thing again this year.
Yeah, I think for the Hawks, I mean, this is just kind of like their brand new year, which is the same thing for most of our teams. But Hardaway's got a chip on their shoulder with a new head coach, and then Kendrick just trying to get out of the we've heard all this stuff about us that's been talked about over the years, and now let's have this rivalry game at Otis Spencer and just leave it all on the field. But across town, we got another big game happening tomorrow night, Friday night, the Heritage Bowl.
Woo.
Carver versus Spencer. There's been a lot of talk about this game on Facebook, just about how Carver is now starting. Technically, yeah,
right. Technically
0-1, but they
column
lost
compared to Spencer, yeah.
They lost their scrimmage game against Lee County, so you know there's some green wave like, oh, this might be our year.
You said it, Mac. I actually had the opportunity to go out and talk to the team, and, you know, they just recently dropped their 28th game winning streak. They have been on the streak for quite some time now. They've played their first game of the season against the Douglas Astros up in Metro Atlanta, and that wasn't how – based on what I've heard from the OC and several of the players, they said that wasn't us. You know, we got our heads a little too big for the moment, but now locking in, of course, this big-time rivalry. This happens to be the 64th edition of the Heritage Bowl, so y'all already know this thing precedes both of us as well as most of the community when it comes to this, but it's heavily involved on both sides. It's almost like a miniature Fountain City Classic, for those that don't know, between Albany State and Fort Valley State, where all the alums come back and there's big tailgates and everything in between. But both these teams say they're looking forward to the matchup ahead. I actually had the opportunity once again to talk to the Carver Tigers to hear about their case on it and what they're preparing for. Let's go ahead and check that out now. All roads lead this Friday night to A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium for the 64th edition of the Heritage Bowl, a big-time matchup between the Carver Tigers as they take on their crosstown rivals, the Spencer Green Wave. And y'all already know this thing lives up to the hype and then some. Now, ahead of the big-time matchup, I caught up with several members of the Carver Tigers to find out exactly how they're preparing for the big-time matchup. Let's get into it.
You know, going into this matchup, we're looking to establish ourselves. We had a rough week last week, so we got to get back to the basics. We want to come out, and establish who we are as a team. I don't think we showed what we were last week, so we want to get back to the basics. Big weekend, it's a Spencer Carver weekend, big rival weekend. Pretty sure the whole city gonna be there. So we just want to come out and give our fans a show. Show them that the team they saw last week is not the team that they can expect to see the rest of the season.
It means a lot, it's been going on for my whole life, I think. Like even before I was born, my grandmother went to Carver. It's a big time. They think we finna lose, but you gotta show them what's up.
Honestly, it's just a blessing. This game is legendary. There's gonna be a lot of people there. I'm just ready to show out for Carver, all the alumni, and just myself.
Stay down, Tell everybody to stay down. Don't get too cocky. Yeah, we think last week we had got ahead of ourselves. We thought we were just gonna go in a little cakewalk and win. That's why we lost. So now we know we ain't stay humble.
Our motivation is just clearly just the loss. We just lost, so that motivates us just to not lose again. Coming into Spencer, a lot of talk around the town. Are we going to beat them? So we just got to come in thinking that a lot of people are doubting us, and we got to prove them wrong.
Need I say more? It all goes down this Friday night over at A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium for this historic matchup between two juggernauts in the Fountain City. You won't want to miss it. We heard from the Carver Tigers, but it's only right we spotlight their opponents, the Spencer Green Wave. Now, the Green Wave are off to a great start after notching their season opener against Brookstone last week. They look to carry over that momentum now against arguably their biggest rivals, a team that they haven't beat since 2017. So knowing that info, there's no denying this game holds not only bragging rights, but just means more. Now, ahead of Friday, I had the opportunity to catch up with head coach Joe Kegler and some of his seniors on the big-time matchup.
It's an important game because it's the next game. It's always a big game for the community, big game for the city. Get to see people who, only come around town maybe once a year. So it's always a festive event. We just got to put our best foot forward and play better.
It mean a lot. It just feel like it complete the season. Cause we ain't beat them since I've been here. So if I come my senior year beat them, I just feel like it complete the team, the season, and then help us win state.
It mean a lot to me. We fell short last year. I definitely feel like we win this year, probably make it.
All roads leads A.J. McClung Memorial Stadium this Friday. We'll be right back.
And welcome back into the halftime show. Tony, we've already talked about the Heritage Bowl. We've got to hear from the coaches and the players for that really big matchup happening tomorrow. But another one going up the interstate, Troup County versus LaGrange, a matchup that we don't really see until later in the year, more so October. But now we get the second week of the season. And, every time we talk to Coach Tanner Glisson and Matt Napier, they always say, well, you already know what this rivalry is about. I mean, it's like the miniature Iron Bowl is what Coach G likes to call it. But for this game to happen so soon on, do you think there's a different mindset, or is it just like the same game that they've played?
Mac, I think with the reclassifications, you're kind of not surprised that a game like this happens so early, especially for two big-time crosstown rivals. I know I actually had the opportunity to attend BTV's Media Day where both of those teams, as well as Callaway, all got to speak in. And I remember Coach G sitting in on the time when Callaway was going in and just talking about, Callaway as well as LaGrange, about just how the team is preparing. And both sides said they're ready for this matchup. You know, once again, iron sharpens iron. So this is definitely one of those times. I call it the Battle of Callaway Stadium because we know all three of those teams share Callaway Stadium. But looking forward to what this matchup brings in the past. You know, Troup has been the team. You know, they've kind of the powerhouse up there. Both of these are powerhouses as well. D1 talent across the board on both sides of the ball. So I'm curious to see exactly what both coaches will strategize and kind of game plan going into this one. But I think it's going to be an electric one nonetheless.
Yeah, and it's more so different now because Troup being 5A LaGrange being 5A and Troup being 4A, just kind of how they're viewing this game for those playoff implications, because you're not necessarily in the region, so you're not really fighting for a spot. So do you kind of just use this game as a test, or are you just using this game as, no, we need it every season because it's a rivalry game? It's going to be really, really interesting to see what the final score will be tomorrow night and what these two teams leave on the field.
I can't agree with you more, Mackenzie. I think definitely this is one of those, once again, I'll use the phrase a lot, but iron sharpens iron. I think this is also another heavy touted matchup where you have two great teams that are looking to make deep runs going not only through the regular season, but possibly into the playoffs, especially in Troup's case. You know, they lost two tough battles to Sandy Creek and I believe Cairo. But we just talk about just the elite play they have on both sides of the ball, two premier coaches as well. For that community, this is one of those big games, despite even if it's not in region, both sides are going to show up nonetheless because, like I said, all of them share that same stadium. But, like, I don't care where you are in that city, all three teams are represented very well across the board. So I think this is going to be one of those fine-tuned matchups that both sides are going to be able to really take some positives and some negatives away from it and help build on the rest of their season in their individual conferences reclassifications. I think this is one of those games where, of course, you're going to get the best because these are like friends playing friends, cousins playing cousins, family members playing family members in general. So I think this is one of those matchups that is great for the city, it's great for the community, and definitely great for just the sport of football, just because you get to see two heavily touted teams in your city go after it. And, you know, you usually, like you said, you get to see those type of games later in the season. But to have this early on, it's going to be an exciting one nonetheless.
For sure. And like I mentioned, I did get the chance to talk to both coaches and both players of both teams. So we'll go and check that out ahead of their matchup on Friday night. Something about the timing between this year's LaGrange and Troup County game makes the rivalry much more interesting.
We're usually playing this game week 10, and now we're playing it early in the season, so it's going to be hot. So I hope we're in good football shape, but we'll find out Friday night.
Usually, this is an October showdown when the stakes are high and playoff seeding matters. This year, the game falls in August, and both teams are split into different classifications. The Tigers in 4A and the Grangers in 5A.
You know, every game matters now, region or not region. You know, your PSR score is going to give you your rank at the end of the year.
Matt Napier and his LaGrange team are coming off a 28-9 win over Noonan in Week 1. They say after losing 29 seniors to graduation, new faces are stepping up.
It's not rebuild, it's reload now at this point. And look, and we say that in a humble way. We are confident in our process and the way we go about things to get ready to be good every year.
Mindset is just to take over the leadership role. Be a vocal leader, be a mental leader, and be a physical leader. Just lead by example for the younger guys behind us.
We're trying to be the best we can be, get the young guys on track, make sure everybody on track, show them how important game days are, practices before game days, and we just trying to show them what being a Granger is like.
Meanwhile, Tanner Glisson and his Tiger team shut out Hampton 40-0 last Friday, using a high-powered offensive attack in the third quarter.
You know, it was 10-0 for a while, and then we were able to bust it open in the third quarter, and that's kind of our MO, you know, the fast-paced offense, and you just keep ripping and running until something hits.
We just had to come back in after halftime and just remind everybody it's the first game of the season. I mean, everything's going to be new, especially like for guys that haven't played in certain positions. So we just had to go out there and keep pushing.
Don't let Troop be Troop. I mean, whoever plays the cleanest and the most mentally focused is going to win this ball game.
While the two schools may not be competing for the same playoff prize, they are still competing for something neither classification can change.
Same bragging rights. Everybody wants to win, of course. Week 2, so we can go and get them out of the way, worry about our season because they're non-region.
A win this early on against a rival team would be great. We all want to get it done, but at the end of the day, it's just another game. We just got to go out there and keep our head down and play hard.
So what can fans expect Friday night?
A Granger win. It's only a big game because Troop's playing in it. So it's just another game.
I'm excited, and it's crazy to say that we're already in week 2, officially our kind of week 3-0 of football, so we're already kind of flying by, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen come Friday night when the clock hits 0.
Yes, ma'am. Now we got to get back to that game, so make sure y'all stick around, but round 2, or second half that is, coming up next of the Upson-Lee at Shaw.
Now, WTVM News Leader 9, Sports Overtime.
Welcome in, everyone. We return now to that second half of action here at Connect Stadium between the Upson-Lee Knights taking on the Shaw Raiders. I'm sports director, that is, Tony Reese, joined by my sports contributor, partner in crime, Mackenzie Collins-Mack. So far, so good on this game. We're seeing the Shaw Raiders up 7-0 by way of Vernon Gamble Jr. If you don't know the name, you're going to hear it quite a few times we say it this second half. But guy had an impressive play, and then following the PAT, Shaw is now on the board, 7-0.
Yeah, he was coming in last season with 7 rushing touchdowns. He just added another one to his resume here tonight. He's been all over the football, been all over the field, especially on that last drive. That was basically his own personal drive. And then on defense, Shaw getting it done, keeping Upson-Lee from scoring. They were able to the Knights were able to get into good position to score inside the 20-yard line, but going for the field goal, unable to get any points out of it, so that's why they're stuck at 0. But Shaw doing their thing on defense, Shaw also doing their thing on offense, and not letting that lightning delay that we saw earlier get to them and ruin their momentum. They were able to come back out, score on the drive, and now they've got a 7-0 lead, and they get the ball to start this second half.
Said it there, Mac. This game is being streamed on Peachtree Sports Network 9.3 or WTVM.com or WTVM app, as well as our YouTube page to catch all the action starting here now. In the third quarter play, we have the Shaw Raiders going back deep. He falls on the play, but, man, tried to make something happen there. That would be number 6 big-time play there. Looking to see what can all go down because our guy is doing big things. And Vernon Gamble Jr., we said the name, we'll say it again. I want to give a shout-out to Upson-Lee. For those that don't know, that is the former home of Trayvon Walker, the former Georgia standout, now NFL player, big-time guy there. Heard he gave a lot back to that program, so definitely want to spotlight our local teams in Alabama, Georgia, and Auburn, as well as Georgia Tech, and, across the way. Now we have the Shaw Raiders, who received the ball. Like I said, momentum all on their side right now. They get it back pretty deep back there, but we've seen earlier, Vernon Gamble. DJ Peterson is QB here for the junior Shaw Raider, and he's going to take this snap right now and give it off to his man, Vernon Gamble, which we've seen before. Gamble can find some open space, and Gamble is off to the races. That man will not be denied. He goes all the way. He will not be stopped, and that is what I call a touchdown. Big-time play there by Vernon Gamble Jr.
You saw the front 7 for Upson-Lee just all on the ball, all playing way up, but once Vernon saw that there were 7 guys just on the right side of him, he took off, and there was nobody to stop him. All corners were blitzing. This was an all blitz coming from the Knights, and Gamble took advantage of it, and he took it straight to the house. The very first play from scrimmage, that is how you start it for Shaw.
Mama, there goes that man, and he's out of there. Adds another one on the board tonight, and before you know it, the Shaw Raiders are now up 13-0. Looking for the PAT to make it 14-0. And, man, did we talk about taking a gamble there? They were about way back there. That was almost in their end zone. So that's about a 90-plus yard run. Good Lord, have mercy.
I believe they marked him at first around the 9-yard line. So, like you said, 95 yards to the house.
Shout out the hot ride there. And that's a 14-0 ball game. Man, look at that mama. There go that man. That boy was out of there. Nobody could stop him as he ran all the way in. Big-time play there from Vernon Gamble Jr. We said it. You're going to hear that name quite a few times. And how does he do it? He opens up the first drive for the Shaw Raiders with an opening score.
A different start from when we saw from the first half. They were kind of playing against each other. It was kind of a mental battle for Shaw, especially with those penalties. But, hey, it took one play, and now they're up 2 scores, feeling like you're in a good position, but now you're going to shift your focus to the defense, who we haven't seen on the field in how many minutes now? I mean, for Shaw to kind of take all of the heat off of their defense early on, and now we're going to see if they can stay hot, especially their edge rushers being LeBron Raybon and, of course, Otis Stevens, Christopher Logan, Noah Hart just all over the ball tonight.
No doubt about it, McKenzie. Big-time play there, big-time play. Meanwhile, we're going to see our guy, Hot Rod. I'm going to say that name quite a few times tonight. Hot Rod Stevens, they call him. His name happens to be Xavier, but it goes by Hot Rod. Xavier Allender, that is. Senior's going to kick it off there. And we're trying to see what happens, and it looks like Upson-Lee won't get much done, but they're going to fall on the play. And now we get to see their true freshman, Cash Cantrell, come back out and try to make something happen for his Upson-Lee Knights.
Yeah, no turnovers from Cantrell so far, but he is maybe dealing with some sight issues just because you can't really see over that line, and there are some passes that he's just missing completely wide open. But then also just a good job from the linebackers for Shaw to not let him do anything with the football. We've seen him take a couple huge shots in the backfield, so we'll see if some of those running backs and sitting right beside him can help pick up some blocks.
You said it there. As we mentioned, Cash Cantrell back at QB here, going to take the snap, looking to make something happen. He hands it off to his running back, and he is stuffed at the line by way of number 9. Don't you like that rhyme? I like that too. That happens to be the big-time play from LeBron Rayburn. Recognize that young man there as he just made a crucial play for his team.
Yeah, we saw him go down. I think it was just a cramp dealing with this heat, but he made his presence known just right there.
Come on now. That's how you get hype on a play, big-time play from the junior play there. Man, oh, man, is this team firing off in all cylinders on both sides of the ball right now. Looking to see if Cash Cantrell can't recover from that one. Ball here, first and 10 or second and 10 there on 14. Oh, they're trying to make something happen there. There's some open space. Number 8 happens to be Mr. Howard, Cheston Howard, a guy we've been following now all game, making some plays there to try to recover all that space. It's now a third down situation.
Yeah, Howard doing a good job of getting open and allowing Control to find somebody, just dumps it underneath, and he does the rest, picking up a good amount of yardage, but still not the first down, so they're looking about a third and medium, a long 6, if you will.
You said it, Mac. Here we are about 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. Already, if you're just not joining us, Shaw is up 14-0 after 2 big explosive plays from Vernon Gamble Jr. Meanwhile, Cantrell rolls out, tries to throw up. It is tipped up. It is Otis Stevens there on the INT. He's able to get it. Shout out to the tip ball by way of number 18. Happens to be Delonte Brooks coming up big there on the play, if I'm not mistaken. Making some plays happen there. It's a joint partnership. Delonte, or number 19, that is, correction, happens to be George Willis Jr. gets the tip, and his man Otis Stevens is there to make the play, and that's an INT in favor of the Shaw Raiders.
I told you just a few minutes ago, Tony, just watch for the edge rushers, really pressuring the quarterback to make sure the ball is out of his hands. That time it was just tipped in the air, and Stevens able to fall on it. We did see a similar play in the first half with Otis there to make the interception, but now he's able to complete it.
You said it there, Mac. First and 10, ball on the 33. We're going to see Vernon Gamble go to work yet again. This young man will not be stopped. He is making his name known tonight as he hops over a defender and still gets some positive yardage there, enough for the first down play.
Yeah, just a junior, by the way, so he's just coming out hot. I mean, we saw him do lots of things as a sophomore last season, but recognize the name and hopefully putting himself in the spotlight here tonight. But he kind of runs like a bowling ball. He may not be the biggest running back, but the way that he's able to stick his feet in the ground and make some hard cuts and make the entire defense miss.
Talk about it there. We have Vernon Gamble. There he goes again. The man will not be denied tonight. That's his third. 1, 2, 3. 3 on the night. They're all on the run game, and Vernon Gamble Jr. gets on the board yet again. Make it, boy, that is a 20-0 ball game in favor of the Shaw Raiders. Coming out this second half, they have been explosive. 2 drives, 2 scores, and we are now facing a potential 21-0 lead over the Upson-Lee Knights.
It's his hesitation, too, you'll see in this replay. He reads it, finds it, cuts back, and just makes his legs do the rest. And, man, I mean, I think his ears were burning when he could hear us talking about him. He said, oh, you want one more? We'll give you one more.
Shout out to the big-time play, man. The junior duo they have right now in QB DJ Peterson as well as Vernon Gamble Jr., a good positive light here for the Shaw Raiders. And that kick is good, and we are now a 21-0 game over the Upson-Lee Knights. We have seen the Shaw Raiders truly come alive this second half. 2 drives, 2 scores, a 21-0 ball game after leading at halftime, 7-0. And Vernon Gamble has been the full catalyst here, getting all 3 scores on the ground and making it happen.
Yeah, and shout out to his O-line, too. I mean, I talk about it pretty much all game, but allowing Vernon to have some gaps to be able to run through and seeing all of the O-line guys just get down the field with him, that's just a blessing to see as a running back.
You said it, Mac. Big-time play there. And it all started by way of number 19, George Willis Jr., who was able to get the tip. Otis Stevens brings in the INT, and he was able to put his team in a great field position. And then, of course, the junior duo, we just talked about him, DJ Peterson, the QB, handing it off to his guy, Vernon Gamble Jr., who did the rest. And next thing you know, that's 6 more points on the board. Now we're looking to see here, as I mentioned it, I'm going to say that name again, Mr. Hot Rod back there in the back. Hot Rod Allender, Xavier Allender, that is. Looking to make something happen here on the PAT, or kick, that is. Oh, and it's a tip. It goes back, but Upson-Lee is able to recover. Guys trying to get too flashy here, it seems, but you just got to calm it down, settle down. Yes, it's a 21-point deficit, but at the same time, there's still a lot of ball game to be played.
And I think it was the announcer jinx, because I said Kentrell didn't have any turnovers, and then he throws a pick right to Otis Stevens. So,
not you jinxing these boys, man.
well, we won't say that, but it is just a weird coincidence that this happened afterward. But we'll see if the Knights have an answer. We've seen them down in a hole before, but we'll see what Coach Winkles and his staff do. I know you mentioned that they kind of have like some history with former UJ Bulldogs. Well, 7 new coaches on the staff, including David Marshall as the D-line coach. He's also a former Georgia Bulldog and Knight himself.
All right, Cantrell here, 1st and 10. He's going to hand off to number 25. Happens to be Marquez Wimberly, and he is stuffed at the line. The Raiders blowing that play up before it even got going. Number 55, their big-time play, going to happen to be by way of Mr. Noah Hart, a senior edge rusher there, making it happen.
Yeah, Wimberly headed to the sidelines, and now they bring on their freshman running back, Jordan Slayton. So we'll see where the ball goes here. Cantrell just getting the call now.
Big time play here. We're going to see ball on the 2nd and 13, 8:34 to go in the 3rd quarter. Ball on the 24. Shaw leads 21-0. Cantrell's going to take the snap, going to hand it off to his man, and he is stuffed yet again. The run game not working as Otis Stevens is there to blow the play up before it even gets going.
And, man, I was watching him the entire time. Even before the ball was snapped, he just ran straight up the middle. That's what you do kind of as the MAC of the leader of the defense at that linebacker position. Straight up through the middle, read the play entirely, and, yeah, nowhere to go. So huge stop and brings up a 3rd and long situation for the Knights.
Not the ideal position to be in, McKenzie, but now when your back is up against the wall, you have to really see what your guys are made out of. And I know we talk about Coach Winkle sitting here looking at his guys wondering, okay, now that you've been hit in the mouth a couple times, how will you respond? As we mentioned, it's 3rd down here, ball in about the 3rd and about 13 here, 7:42 to go. Cantrell rolls out. He's going to send up a shot. He goes back deep, and it looks to be an INT. The Shaw Raiders came to play tonight, that is. Number 20 there on the play by way of Mr. Jaden Alexander. We call that guy big-time player. The sophomore, that is, coming up big on the INT. Come on now.
You'll see Shaw's entire defensive line blitz. Otis Stevens plays a zone, but he's got to get rid of the ball. And Cantrell just throws it into every man's land. And
him and Caden Ricks were back and forth there. They was like, look, hey, go get it, bro. I got you.
He kind of got
mad. He pushed him down. He was like, that's what's my ball. Well, Mac, here we go once again, getting to see that junior duo go to work here. It looks like they have Otis Stevens here in place of Vernon Gamble in the backfield now. Peterson going to see if he does a handoff to the senior in Stevens. Peterson gives it, of course, Stevens here. We'll call him the power back. He says he wants something, too. He's going to force his way down till about the 32-yard line, I want to say. Enough for some positive yardage there for a 2nd down.
Yeah, and Stevens being just a huge running back there. I mean, he was first touch around the 43-yard line. There is an injured player, but he was touched around the 43-yard line and got 4 yards after contact. It looks like one of their O-line guys.
You said that, Mac. It appears to be, I want to say, number 58, David Beverly, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like he has some cramping going on there. Definitely hoping that it's just a little stinger. They talk about having these guys hydrated. That's the biggest thing right about now. Feels a little cool for us up here in this box, but definitely a little hot out there on the field, I'm sure.
And, Tony, I do have a score update out of East Alabama.
What we got?
So the Bucks have scored a touchdown over Opelika, so it's 7-0 late in the 2nd quarter, so about 5 minutes left, maybe 4 minutes. They could be at halftime at this point, but this is just a late score update getting in. And then the last check, Kendrick was still up on Hardaway 13-6, and we found out that Smith Station is actually up against Percy Julian.
Gotcha. Say that DJ Beverly, it was in fact the senior he's able to walk off on his own accord, and he comes off the field. He's asking coach to get back in that thing, but he's looking good here. A little dinged up, but we'll see if he's just out for a couple plays. Meanwhile, I want to give a shout-out to the alma mater, Smith Station Panthers. Hey, shout-out to them over Percy Julian, 14-0. I'm not saying nothing, but, hey, after last week, a win would be real nice right about now. I ain't going to lie to you. But meanwhile, we're still back in action. As we mentioned, 21-0, the Shaw Raiders over the Upson-Lee Knights here in Connect Stadium. Third quarter, 7:18 to go. Ball on the 33, second 5. Mr. DJ Peterson in the backfield looking to make something happen. It appears they have put back in Vernon Gamble Jr. Nope, correction. Otis Stevens is still back there in the back. So a lot of positivity to see how it can go and how it works out here. Waiting on that snap. It's a 2nd and 5. Peterson takes the snap. Gonna hand it over to Stevens. Stevens, open space, and he barrels through there. Enough for a first down, potentially?
Yeah, you had number 8, Markel Charleston, pick up a good block on the left side. Interesting that Stevens wanted to go inside, but I guess that's just his motto in running. I want to hit the first person I see. Would have been nice if maybe he cuts on the outside and go towards the sidelines. But nonetheless, a good pickup, so now they're dealing with a third and very short situation.
You said it there, Mac. 3rd and 1, correction. Just short of a first down, ball on the 29. And it looks like they might have just been given those extra yards they need due to an Upson-Lee offsides. And we now are facing a first down situation for the Shaw Raiders. Big time. We talked about flags, Mac. Flags penalized the Shaw Raiders in the first half. But since then, I ain't no telling what that halftime speech was talking about. But these guys have definitely tightened that thing up and are looking to be more positive this time around. Looking to see now, as we mentioned, 1st and 10. Ball on the 30, 24 that is. 21-0 in favor of the Shaw Raiders here with about 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. They're going to give it off. Our man, Vernon Gamble's back in the game here, and he's going to get some positive yardage as he's handed off the ball by DJ Peterson. And it looks to be, that's about 5, I want to say. So give it a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, what we saw in the first half with Shaw's defense possibly getting gashed early on and having to come back on the field every couple minutes, now it's reverse Uno, and now the Knights are kind of trying to keep up with the tempo that Shaw's offense is giving them. We're not seeing a lot from number 8, who's Cheston Howard, who's playing both running back and linebacker. A lot of hands on hips, especially on Upson-Lee's D-line. So Shaw's just got to keep punching.
Set him back here. Going to give it back to Vernon Gamble. Gamble finds open space. He's trying to make something happen. Hits the outside edge, and he gets more positive yardage. Would it be enough for the first down? One thing about that, we noticed they like the halfback sweeps. He gets to the outside corner. He dips in. He dips out again, and before you know it, it looks like he's trying to get some positive yardage on the play there.
Well, that's what I noticed last week's game with Upson-Lee taking on Lamar County. They kind of got burned on any plays that went to the outside towards the perimeter. They didn't do a really good job of covering their guys on the outside, leaving the middle of the field just wide open. And, I mean, watching film, I was able to grasp that. I know Jardy Garner and his staff was able to figure that out. So Vernon, smart enough to get to the outside where nobody's really covered and rely on your big guys up front to pick up some blocks.
Here we see their ball handoff yet again. It looks to be our man Vernon Gamble. They fed him all night long. They decided to try to feed him again just for some positive yardage here with about 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And it looks like they're knocking, that is, on the door into the red zone for their potential fourth score of the game.
I think this is what we'll see from Shaw moving forward, just slowing down the game, letting everybody catch a breather, taking a lot of time off the clock. I mean, we're already approaching the 4-minute mark here in the third quarter, and yes, get the points and have successful drives moving forward, but there's no reason to give any reason for your guys to get injured.
You said it here, Mac. First and second down is going to be. Looks like they're going to hand it off again. This play almost blown up at the play, but shout out to Garner, or not Garner, that is, Peterson, that is, to try to get the play done. DJ Peterson keeps it himself, doesn't like what he sees, tries to hand it off, that is, to Vernon Gamble Jr., but instead keeps it himself for some positive yardage.
Yeah, low snap. I'm not sure if there's a new center for Shaw, but a couple weird snaps that we've seen recently, but Peterson able to keep his head up and advance the play. So now you're looking at a third down and about 4 yards it's extremely doable for this group, especially with Otis Stevens in the backfield that you see.
You said it, McKenzie. Checking the play here. We have our guy Otis Stevens back in as that power back, looking to see if they don't send it back to him. Going to be here. Pat Peterson hands it over to Otis. Otis pushes his way through. Will it be enough for a first down as they are creeping on the door for that fourth score of the game?
They do give them the first down, and just count the bodies that took for Stevens to get down.
One.
So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 Knights to tackle Stevens, who there was one less player, probably would have been a touchdown, but he's still on the field. So.
All right, we'll see here. Peterson going to hand it off to Stevens. Peterson keeps it himself, tries to go in, tries to make his way in for the touchdown. And there is a flag on the play, so this may be coming back. But talk about trying to extend yourself out for the play and the score. Watch this replay here. He goes in. Oh, it's a false low ball. He tries to keep himself, dodges 1, dodges 2, creeps his way, tries to squeeze across the board.
White Hat is getting the call.
Waiting on that official call there. If not, this will be a 4 touchdown for the Shaw Raiders on the game. Unsportsmanlike it appears on the Shaw Raiders.
So that'll push them back 15 yards. Not sure who it was on.
Looking at here about 3 minutes into the third quarter. If you're just tuning in, you're watching here on Peachtree Sports Network, WTVM.com, or our WTVM streaming app, as well as our YouTube page. I'm Sports Director Tony Reese on the call here, alongside my partner, sports contributor Mackenzie Collins, here for the Shaw Raiders Upson-Lee game at Kinnett Stadium. It looks like that call was reversed, so that touchdown was brought back. It looked at first as if DJ Peterson was going to be granted it the 27-0 lead, but they're going to try to go back forward again. This time it's Otis Stevens. He's going to try to get back in there. He spins out. He's trying to make something. He's still up, and he's down now as the ball is going into a second down type play.
Another score update out of Alabama. Hoover has added to its lead. It's 14-0 over Opelika, and we're still waiting on an update from the Smith Station Percy Julian game, as well as Hardaway Kendrick. Last check, that one was in Kendrick's favor. Our Dylan Seymour was actually at that game, so we're waiting to see if we can get something from him coming up here soon.
Appreciate all of our shooters across the board as we're looking here. Looks to see they have put number 2 DJ Peterson, and they've added Vernon Gamble back into the mix. We've seen Gamble now score 3 different touchdowns as he tries to make something happen here. Peterson's going to take the snap. Oh, there appears to be a timeout on the play.
Yeah,
in favor of the Shaw Raiders. Johnny Garner going to go back to his team and discuss something he didn't see. All right, we're going to take a monetary break real quick as we look at the Shaw Raiders up 21-0 here in the third quarter over the Upson-Lee Knights. We'll be right back. Welcome back in, everybody, here at Kinnett Stadium, where the Shaw Raiders lead the Upson-Lee Knights 21-0. You're joining our Thursday night stream game as we're seeing here, checking out Peterson. Going to drop back. He's going to throw it long overthrows his intended receiver. But meanwhile, going back to it, the Shaw Raiders lead 21-0 over the Upson-Lee Knights. This is our Thursday night stream game being streamed on Peachtree Sports Network 9.3, as well as WTVM.com and WTVM streaming app, as well as YouTube. Don't forget you can catch this game pretty much anywhere and everywhere. I'm Sports Director Tony Reese, joined by my partner in crime, sports contributor Mackenzie Collins. Mackenzie, we've seen such a great game so far, and it looks like the Shaw Raiders have come alive in the second half.
For sure, and they got to beat themselves up with that unsportsmanlike penalty, which is where they were pushed back, so now that's why they're in this position now. But third and goal to go, it looks like.
Peterson drops back, sends over a shot, just overthrows his intended receiver, happened to be Giovanni Johnson, Rutherford. And now they are facing a fourth down play after what would have been a score, but due to unsportsmanlike conduct, it was called back by way of their quarterback, Dalen DJ Peterson, who scored the touchdown, but it was called back, and now it is 21-0. We will see if they don't try to go for it here or take the points and go for the field goal.
Well, you see your man on the field, so
Hot
I think I think we can presume that it's going to be a field goal attempt, but going to be successful either way to come out with this, come out of this drive with points. But definitely, like you said, a touchdown would have been better.
Kick is up. Oh, and it is no good. Still a 21-0 game for the Shaw Raiders, but the kick just off there. I want to say wide right.
It was a little right, to the right, but still a 3-score lead for Shaw. The Knights are going to get the ball back, trying to swing that momentum pendulum back in their direction, but they did have a good shot on Peterson in that last drive. It was actually number 4, Jaden Duggar, their defensive tackle, coming up and just getting all in Peterson's face, not allowing him to see the field. So some big defensive plays coming up for the Knights, so we'll see if they can reflect that with their offense.
You said it, Mackenzie. Looking to see now what the Upson-Lee Knights can do. Looking at QB, it looks like they have a new QB in actually. Not used to seeing this man here tonight, but let's see what they can get done here. Oh, it's going to be a direct keep. He got me faked out. It was Marquez Wembley there trying to make it happen. They took the direct snap. A halfback direct, you want to say, for all you college football fans out there, it appeared. And it looks like number 11, Bryson Denson, was there to blow that play up before it even got going.
Yeah, Wildcat play there. I would have I mean, we've seen, especially watching Auburn football over the years, that we've seen Jarquez Hunter, Tank Bigsby throw some of those passes, but there you could have presumed, especially seeing number 25 Wimberly out on the field, that it was going to just be a keeper, but it looks like they're going to come out with a different play design.
You said it, Mackenzie. We're just under a minute here in the third quarter. Shaw Raiders lead 21-0. They're going to try to go right back again. This time Wimberly trying to make something happen. He decides to throw. Intended receiver was missed altogether. It happened to be number 10 there, I believe. I want to say that was Halon Foster, and he was missed there on the play. Now the Upson-Lee Knights are facing a 3rd and 12.
So they had Wimberly on that last play take the snap, but now they have Keno Gilbert. He's their junior quarterback / wide receiver. So he's in the game taking snaps.
All right, so we're curious to see what happens here. A lot of positivity. Looking to see now they have officially moved. It appears to be Gilbert. Keno Gilbert is in at QB this time around, as you mentioned. Gilbert here now tries to take the direct snap, but a flag will be brought out on the play. More laundry.
Looks like it's going to be a false start, so kind of a reverse from what we've seen from the Knights, playing a clean game, clean first half. Now they're kind of beating themselves up here in this drive with 29 seconds left in the third quarter. Definitely not what you want to see as a response for the Knights down in such a big hole this late in the game.
You said it there, Mackenzie. A lot of potential movement here. You try a new QB. You try to see if you can't get a facelift here essentially in this team. Knowing that you're down in the hole 21-0, just about in the fourth quarter. Still a lot of game to be played, but you have to make some moves pretty fast. And we're going to see Gilbert here taking the snap. He is pretty back near his own end zone. Gilbert's going to take the snap. He tries to roll out, tries to take it himself. He's going to get some yardage here. Decent yardage, but will it be enough to make a difference?
I believe he got back to the original line of scrimmage. So Okay, they gave him 2 extra yards, so it is going to be about a 4th and 8. The Knights are looking at. And like you mentioned, I like how you brought in a new face at QB to try to add something different, but the Shaw defense just on it the entire time, especially for Cantrell to come in as a just true freshman.
Well, throw them 4s up, 4th quarter. Here we come as the Shaw Raiders lead 21-0 over the Upson-Lee Knights. It is a shutout game so far, and we have 12 more minutes to go. We'll have more coming up after the break. Back at Connect Stadium with some 4th quarter action where the Shaw Raiders lead 21-0 over the Upson-Lee Knights in what has been a resurrection for the Raiders offense in the second half, offense and defense, truthfully, because they've been able to get it done here. As we see now, the Raiders are in full control here as they're trying to make something happen. It's going to be received here by number 12, and it looks like he's going to try to make something happen. He's going to get some positive yardage, and he's going to breeze stop right there. But big-time play there by Antron Mallory, the senior on the play. There is a
I think
flag.
we're all wondering why he ran backwards when I feel like he could have kept on the left side and had a touchdown, but now he's having some trouble getting off the field. But maybe that was a situation where you wanted more field to work with now that you're up 3 scores. But interesting route running there.
Yeah,
we'll see in this replay here.
He was, it almost looked like a muff, or they tried to tip it, and then Antron gets it, and he tried to make some plays happen. It looked like he was going all the way.
Yeah, he had one
And
man to
then-
beat, the kicker back here.
I think he thought he could cut back and go across the field there. That's what he was trying to do, but he planted too hard.
Well, then why didn't he go straight?
I think he got
Okay, we're having a debate here in this
I
replay.
think he got confused. So then he's like, I'm going to stiff arm this man, try to make something happen. But, just a little stinger there.
Yeah, landed a little wonky. There is a flag on the field, so the refs are talking to the Shaw sideline, so it looks like it may be on Upson-Lee, maybe on the tackle. Are they looking at possible face mask, horse collar?
We'll find out momentarily. Still Raiders ball. Penalty is offset, it appears.
Okay, so that means there were flags on both sides, and both of them will be negated. So we're going to start. Oh, the refs were going way back here now. Starting at the 47?
Okay.
48?
Well, Mac, we're going to see if the Shaw Raiders can't make something else happen here, because they've been impressive so far in the second half. As it sees here, our guy Vernon Gamble is in the game. Our man Stevens, or Peterson, I'm going to get this man's name right. DJ Peterson, that is. He's also a QB still. Peterson going to give it over to Vernon Gamble. Gamble finds some open space. Ooh, big time stop there by number 5, Mr. Hamilton. DeQuavius Hamilton came in like a bullet to stop that thing.
Yeah, I think all eyes are on Gamble now that he's had 3 rushing touchdowns tonight. So pretty easy tackle for Gamble if you're keeping your eyes on him. Not an easy tackle if you're trying to outrun him,
Very much
which
so.
we've seen him break a couple tackles and get loose. But a score update, Tony. So,
What we
Smith
got?
Station Panthers up 21-6 over Percy Julian. They're at halftime. Opelika was able to get in the end zone, so they're down 14-7. And then we're still trying to find that Hardaway Kendrick score. But looking good for our team so far.
Very much so.
Opelika's down by 7, but we've seen them come back in many ways.
All right, Mackenzie, we're going to see a play here. Trenton is going to be on that play there. Trenton Padden, that is, comes out, tries to make something happen after Vernon Gamble had to leave the game. And it's about 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Shaw fully in the lead. It currently is about third and 10, third and 12.
Yeah, really slowing this
Third
game
and 13
down.
they're giving it.
Clock still winding down. I wouldn't be surprised if they snap the ball when the clock hits about 5 seconds. Just run this ball out, run down the time, and rely on your offense to keep pushing, keep getting first downs.
You said it there, Matt. Peterson's going to drop back, tries to throw it. He is pressured. He's going to make some open space. He's going to take off for the run and get nothing but positive yards there for the first down. That's how you fall back and make a play happen on your feet after you were pressured. It looked like it was going to be ugly, but he saw nothing but green pasture and took off like it was nobody's business.
Yeah, that was just a good decision by him. We've seen Aaron Grant last year make those decisions of, hey, I don't have anybody to throw to, I'll just rely on my legs. And that looked like a very Aaron Grant run right there.
You said it, McKenzie. 9:54 to go here in the fourth quarter. All Shaw in this one, 21-0. Looking like a verge of a shutout, but the Raiders still trying to add on more points on the board. Have Otis Stevens back in at running back here. Gonna take the snap by way of Peterson. He's gonna give it to his man, Stevens. Stevens bulldozes his way through him, man. Number 7, I'm sorry for you, Mr. Bentley, but that was one way to take a hit. At least you stopped the play, but man, that's what you call one of those tattoo plays. He just definitely had to take that one. That was crazy.
I mean, just watch him just show no mercy. I mean, it was either move out the way or be punished, and number 7 was absolutely
He
punished.
stuck with it, though. I give it to him. He stuck with it. All right, looking to see what happens now. About a 2nd and 4, 9:20 to go here. Ball on the 22, 21-0 lead for the Shaw Raiders. Peterson's going to take it. Looks like he's going to give it back to his man, Otis Stevens. And this time he's brought down right at the goal line by a slew of Upson-Lee Knights. Number 7 said, hey, I can respond to that one too. Mr. Bentley came right back and said, I'm going to stop this play before they get started. I learned my lesson the last time around.
Yeah, and on the opposite side, I mean, if you have back-to-back run plays like this, then you're kind of relying on your offensive line to just show all of their strength up front and block those guys. Meanwhile, you've got the defense and trying to stop Shaw from scoring here. But with clock ticking now at 8:35, Shaw knocking on the door once again.
Said that McKenzie going to give it back here. Peterson, Otis Stevens, and he bulldozes through yet another man. That man is a man among his boys tonight. Number 13, I'm sorry for you. That happened to be Mr. Marcus Banks was his next victim.
If Gamble is the bowling ball, Stevens is the bulldozer.
Man. Watch it.
Just taking bodies left and right. I'd love to get Coach Garner's take on just describing what Otis Stevens is as a linebacker and a running back. First of all, you need somebody that's not afraid to hit and play both those positions, and to play both. I mean, it's take no prisoners.
No doubt about it, McKenzie. 1st and 10 here, ball on the 14. They're going to give it right back to the bulldozer there in Otis Stevens. Tries to cut to the outside and is brought down, and it will be a loss of yards. 2nd down going in now, right near the end zone. Ball on about the 14, 15-yard line.
So Stevens is going to come off the field. Gamble was going to replace him, slowing down the time yet again, hitting that 7:30 mark. I got to say, Coach Gardner and his staff is doing a really good job of controlling the ball. I mean, they've had the ball for minutes now, and that's exactly what you want to try to close out this game, not give Upson-Lee any thought that they could try to come back in this one. I mean, just milking the clock.
Said it, McKenzie, that's the name of the game here. Definitely with the lead, you want to milk the clock down as much as you can. Looking to see Peterson going to hand it off to his man, Vernon Gamble. Gamble Jr. tries to take it down the middle, and positive yardage somewhat what will be stopped. I want to say it's about a good enough game, about 3 yards, bringing up a 3rd down.
Yeah, and I was watching that shot clock over there. It hit all the way to 1 second, and then the ball was snapped. So just great job by the entire Shaw offense to just take every single second. I mean, minutes are going by.
Very much so, Mac. We're looking at a 3rd down here just outside the red zone as they're trying to knock it in for their 4th score of the game. As we mentioned, they did score the last time, but it was called back due to the unsportsmanlike conduct. So now score still stands at 21-0. But we're looking to see here DJ Peterson in at QB, looking to make something happen. He's going to give it off to over the top it is. He tries to send it over by way to number 8. Happens to be Marquell Charleston, the senior, and he falls just short. And we're facing now a 4th down play.
Yeah, that was one of those read option plays. He saw both linebackers come in and on a blitz, and then you had number 8 Charleston on the right side all alone. If he had a little bit more time, I believe that would have been a perfectly thrown ball.
Kenzie, you said it there, looking to see what comes of it. Do you try to take the points or go for this shot? It appears Vernon Gamble is still out there. DJ Peterson is still out there. So knowing that, I'm assuming they're going for it right here on 4th down. Looking at about a 4th and a few, 4th and 8 that is. 5:51 to go here in the 4th quarter, ball on the 12-yard line. Looking to see if they can't power it through here. Peterson's going to go back, drop back, sends it over. Oh, just misses his intended target there, Marquell Charleston, and that will be a turnover on downs as the Shaw Raiders defense comes back out and the Upson-Lee Knights get another shot to try to put some points on the board here late in the ballgame.
Yeah, that was Upson-Lee's Isaiah Davis coming off the edge. Off the edge for and we'll be right back with more action from Connect Stadium right after this.
Game on as we're here at 5:44 to go in the 4th quarter. Looking to see, after a turnover on downs, if the Upson-Lee Knights can't make something happen here. They are down 21-0 late in this game, but they are still fighting as we see Keno Gilbert now replacing Cash earlier in the game. Gilbert's going to hand it over to his man, Wimberly. Wimberly finds some open space, almost breaks that thing out of there, but is stopped by number 16 there, Michael Smith Jr.
If it wasn't for that tackle, he would have been gone. But a good pickup for the Knights, getting close to that 1st down marker, coming from the 12-yard line, inching their way closer to the 21-yard line. So very, very close to that 1st down. So there'll be a 2nd down and short. But like what we saw with Shaw's offense, wouldn't be surprised if we just see only runs and hopefully maybe a big play so they don't leave out of here scoreless.
Set him back here, 2nd down. Keno Gilbert going to keep himself, tries to go for the quarterback sneak, and he will be dropped at the line. 5:44 there on the play. 5 being Chris Logan, 44 happens to be Lawrence Washington, if I'm not mistaken.
And this Shaw defense, I mean, their mindset has always been get to the ball, run to the ball. Those 2 turnovers that they forced for their offense to come back and capitalize on them really has aided in both of these games being shutouts, for this one being a shutout so far.
Very much so here, Mac. 3rd down play looking here. Keno gonna take the snap. Tries to throw him off guard. He's gonna give it back to Wimberly. Wimberly trying to make something happen. He breaks out of a couple guys. Meanwhile, he will be stopped just shy of the first down, so they now face another. Oh, they give it to him, and that is a first down in favor of the Upson-Lee Knights as the clock continues to wind down here, almost in the 4-minute mark left in the game. 21-0 is the deficit. Trying to see if Upson-Lee can't fight back and at least put some remaining points on the board. They might not be able to get 21, but you can at least go out and say you didn't get shut out.
Yeah, it says 3rd and 1 on the scoreboard there, but they did give him the first down, so they moved the change. The clock is continuing to run. And now they're telling the bands to stop playing, which we were just talking about this. So Upson-Lee's band is actually on the Shaw sideline playing.
Very strange.
And Shaw on the opposite side.
Keno Gilbert here takes the snap. Going to hand it back off to Wimberly. Wimberly shoots up the lane, tries to make something happen, but he would be stopped there by number 20, Jaden Alexander, coming up with a big-time stop, or else that would have gotten real ugly real fast.
Yeah, with 3:33, their mindset is, hey, if we can't win the game, let's try to leave Connect Stadium with some points. So they're going to hurry up this offense just a little bit to try to build some momentum.
Mentioned the Mac hurry-up offense here, 3:20 to go in the fourth quarter, 21-0 deficit. Shaw Raiders lead over the Upson-Lee Knights. Keno Gilbert in at QB. He's going to hand it back there. Gilbert keeps it himself, tries to scramble out to the backside, making something happen. He's still on his feet, but he would be knocked out of bounds. And it appears it might be good for another. He is out of bounds. And they are going to call it second down. 2nd and 3, they're calling it here. So just shy of the first down, but about 3 minutes remaining roughly here in the fourth quarter. Upson-Lee kind of getting some momentum under their belts, but is it too late to really put some points on the board?
They do have 3. All right, correction. After further review, Shaw's band is actually in purple tonight, so they are playing on the right sides. And it just so happens that Upson-Lee did the opposite, and they are playing in all black with black
Yeah, no, you learn something new every day. Wimberly trying to make something happen there. Tackled by a gang of Raiders. 5-0. DeQuavius Hamilton there was on the play, but actually that happened to be number 5 for Chris Logan for the Shaw Raiders.
So with 2:44, with all 3 timeouts, by the way, I wonder when Coach Winkles will choose to use, if he does choose to use one of them, just to try to get a game plan to hopefully put some points on the board. But Shaw's right there and denying every chance.
Set him back 3rd and 4 here. Keno Gilbert at QB, going to keep it himself, tries to find a hole. He's going to hit it long enough. He's good enough for a first down. He's still going. Ball's roughly down there at the 50-yard line, and that's a first down for the Upson-Lee Knights with about 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
So it seems to me that Cantrell is more of the pocket passer quarterback, which is maybe the reason that he won the job, just because he fits into the system better. But Keno Gilbert, I mean, breaking off tackles. I mean, he was able to get by Otis Stevens, the linebacker for Shaw, and then just kept making his way through. So now they're past the 50-yard line.
You said it there, Mac. Gilbert going to try to make something happen. He hands it off to his guy, Wimberly. Wimberly brought down just shy of the 45-yard line. With about a minute to 30 to go, this team is starting to move the ball, but time is not on their side.
And I'm really interested to know that no timeouts yet. So I think he may just have a plan, and a minute drill is like, hey, we can score and give Shaw back the ball with 15 seconds left.
It's an interesting take, Mackenzie. Here we are, just about a minute to go left in the fourth quarter. Time is winding down, and we're officially under a minute here. Gilbert at QB sends it back. He's trying to take a shot. He goes back, drops back, and aims for his man, number 6, it appears, who happened to be Christian Alsobrooks, but that play would be broken up by number 3, Savion Joseph.
Yeah, that's his second time tonight, at least second time tonight, getting in the middle of the play, breaking up the pass, and not allowing his receiver that one-on-one matchup.
Mackenzie, for the second time tonight, we are seeing LeBron Raybon down It appears unsure what the injury extent is, but maybe just got the wind knocked out of him a little bit. He'll be right back up.
Yeah, you see the coaches in the huddle for Shaw praising Savion Joseph for just being all over the ball tonight. 2 pass breakups at the minimum that I've counted, and 2 turnovers for the Shaw defense, 3 touchdown game. I mean, on every phase of the game, you can say Shaw has been successful.
You said it there, Mac. It looks like Raybon is back up on his feet, and always a good time to see the players not be down too long and able to get back up on their own accord. As we mentioned here, we are under the minute mark, about 50 seconds to go, 21-0 lead for the Shaw Raiders as the Upson-Lee Knights are pushing downfield, but it is a 3rd down play. Waiting to see how they respond and if they can, in fact, try to put some points on the board prior to the end of this game.
I mean, we saw Gilbert on the last play show off his arm, so maybe you try that again with 3 wideouts to the left.
You say that, Mac, in a trips formation. Meanwhile, Gilbert steps back, takes a shot. He is pressured deep, and it is a tip drill by way of number 12, Antron Mallory. Comes up big there. That man tipped it to himself, and that might have just been the game-sealing INT. McKenzie, 27 seconds to go here in the 4th quarter, and the Shaw Raiders, once again, have the ball.
Yeah, Mallory, all smiles. His helmet did come off, but you can see his smile as he's coming off the field after that interception. I think it would seal the game here. 27 seconds. Shaw doesn't have to do near anything. Maybe pick up the 1st down to completely seal this game, but you've got about a 2-second time difference between the shot clock and the game clock. So I think they've got this in the bag. 21-0.
You say that, Mac, as the time continues to wind down here. 27 seconds to be exact. 21-0 lead for the Shaw Raiders, and they appear to be in that victory formation, but we'll see what takes place here. And just like that, it appears game is over. It appears. The Shaw Raiders have just won 21-0 as the clock runs down. They improve to 2-0 over the Upson-Lee Knights, who unfortunately fall to 0-2. McKenzie, a heck of a game by the Shaw Raiders.
Yeah, not the prettiest way to start out this one, but made some adjustments, had a halftime talk, came out and played a near perfect game in the second half, scoring 21 points. You would like to have seen that score go up to 28, but some unsportsmanlike penalties getting in the way, so definitely needed conversation and not letting that happen moving forward. But a huge win, non-region though, but a huge win nonetheless for Shaw to start the season 2-0. And next week they have Bainbridge, and that's actually going to start the region play. So, but join us for our mini streaming games coming up next week. Tony will be at Calhoun at Troup County.
Big battle going down in Callaway Stadium. That's a Friday. That's our first. Instead of Thursday, it's going to be a Friday night, so you won't want to miss it. Big-time matchup. If you're just checking in, that is your final score here from Connect Stadium tonight. 21-0 in favor of the Shaw Raiders over the Upson-Lee Knights. They improved 2-0. We saw a fabulous game from running back Vernon Gamble Jr., who had all 3 scores for the Raiders. Thank you for joining us here on this call for an exciting part. That's our Thursday night stream game that you've been able to watch here on Peachtree Sports Network 9.3, WTVM.com. WTVM streaming app, and of course on YouTube. We also stream the first quarter in Facebook Live on our WTVM News Leader 9 page. We'll be doing this continuously for several more games throughout the season, so be sure to tune in with us. For my partner, she's sports contributor Mackenzie Collins. I'm sports director Tony Reese, and we thank y'all for joining us. Be sure to tune in next week once again for our next matchup, Calhoun versus Troup County at Callaway Stadium, where one of us or 2 of us or a whole, we have several people along the board, not just ourselves.
It's a
we have
surprise.
Drew Pavon, we have some other ones. Be sure it's going to be an exciting one. Credit to all of our team here in-house. Shout out to William McLean, Drew, Aaron Lee, Josh Gill, Jeremy Hayes, Ebony Gayton. We also have Trey Lester and everybody in between. Thank y'all for joining us for this remarkable moment. And our guy, Rico Mitchell. Always a pleasure. Thank y'all so much.
Coach, I told y'all, the surprise team of this year is going to be Shaw. Coach, what do you think about this team?
Anytime you get to score against another team, it's a good day. So I'm happy for these guys. I'm happy for my staff. They did a great job of preparation. The guys came out, they're locked in, ready to go. I'm so happy for Raider Nation and everyone else, man. It's such a blessing to see it. And to God.
The city's buzzing. Let's start with your defense first. Back-to-back weeks with shutouts. They're lights out. Otis, Stevens, Noah Hart. What do you say about that side of the football, man?
They communicate well. Coach Bennett does a great job in spearheading that defensive effort. And game plan-wise, man, he's a whiz, man. He's a star in this game. And the guys take to him. They play fast as heck. They play fast as hard as they can. They play to each other. It's me over me. So it's a collective effort from all of them. But this is their team, same thing.
Running game, 200 yards in the run. What do you say about number 6? 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, man. He's a big play guy, man. And all credit, of course, goes to his offensive line and those guys that are blocking and fitting those holes for him. So he ran tough tonight. And when he saw the open field, he found it to the end zone. He has no end zone, so we see it every day. So I'm just glad that everyone else got to see it.
What's next? You got Bengals coming up. What you got to say to Raider Nation?
Hey, appreciate everyone coming out. Thanks for the support. We're going to enjoy this thing tonight. Let's party up. We're 2-0, and we'll get back to work on Saturday.
Congratulations, Coach. Johnny Garner starts 2-0. Raiders win 21-0. Georgia Alabama Sports Live.